Hello everyone, welcome back. It's nice to have everyone back here. I say like I didn't record an episode like 2 days ago, but whatever. So today, I'm trying to decide what to do. So obviously, we could continue on what we were doing before with the stakeout, but then there was also this right here where it gave me an option to not go back, so I think maybe let's try going here and see if that gets us another ending or something. If it looks like it's gonna make like an entirely new like divergence, then maybe I'll just put it into save slot number 7 and carry on with my day. But let's just check out what happens here. Maybe there's nothing, maybe there's something, I don't know. Don't be ridiculous, of course I should send the email or whatever. Just a little more and I can save Mayuri once and for all. I know what will happen if I don't leap now. Mayuri will die and I will taste the pain of despair once again. And then I'll leap. It's the same either way. I close my phone. There's no need to rush. Calm down. I can endure the pain, if need be. I should exploit my one advantage, the time leap machine, to its full extent possible, and that means knowing exactly when Mayuri will die. The patent suggests that Mayuri's death should happen around 7 or 8 tonight. But things are a little different this time. Mooka killed herself before. Mayuri was scheduled to die, blah blah blah. Oh, there was a comma there. How much influence will that have on convergence? Blah, blah, blah. There's a chance Mayuri won't die. We might already have won. In that case, I shouldn't waste my effort time leaping. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Man, I'm like, what am I doing with these sentence structures? I'm like, let me get my brain in the thing. I have no obligation to save Mooka. I'll wait until Kurisu contacts me. It's 12:30 now. There's still about 7 hours left. I hear nothing but the slow, steady tick of the clock. The sound is echoing inside my head. Even if I plug my ears, it doesn't stop. I spent several hours searching for the Ivan 5100, but as expected, I found nothing. I still can't imagine how Mooka's D-mail affected the computer's whereabouts. What does her phone model have to do with anything? Does keeping the same phone somehow tell her that there's an Ivan 5100 at Yanabayashi Shrine? That doesn't make sense. Even the butterfly effect must have limits. But on the other hand, truth is often stranger than fiction. Sometimes the simplest things have consequences that no one could ever imagine. So I can't rule it out entirely either. In other words, I have nothing. I twist my lips into a sneer of self-mockery. It's 7:46 p.m., the moment of truth. If Mayuri is indeed fated to die today, I should be hearing from Kurisu soon. I hope nothing happens. All that I ask is to hear Mayuri's voice, to know once and for all that she's safe. Huh? Hello? Okabe, she's... why? I don't... Kurisu is sobbing. So I know, even without asking. She saw Mayuri die. I saw it happen. She's dead. Mayuri's dead. This can't be. She suddenly collapsed. Why? It doesn't make sense. She's not breathing. She won't answer at all. Please, Mayuri. Okabe, what do I do? Help, please. Mayuri's dead. I'm sorry for making you go through this. With that, I hang up the phone. Maybe it's because I didn't see it happen, or maybe my heart was simply grown numb. But this time, I don't feel much pain. I hate myself for it. I pound my fist against the table. As expected, the deadline is about around 8 p.m. on the 16th. Unless I change the world line before the time limit, Mayuri will die. Put on the headgear and activate the time limit machine. I must obtain Mooka's phone no matter what it takes. Okay. So I guess they just converge. Okay. Well, then. We experimented, we tested it out, we saw if anything changed, and we found out. Okay, let's see. Is this all skippable dialogue? Let's check. I make several consecutive leaps to travel back to the 11th. When I arrive, it's just past 8 p.m. I'm heading out. I leave the lab without waiting for the others to respond. Are you coming back to the lab today? Alright, so it is. Alright, well, it's consecutive. We might as well just skip through all this, so as a reminder of whatever happened. Alright, yeah, let me assault the girl, yeah, Not fun. And she bites me. Looking back and forth. Okay. It's just whatever. And then we type leap. It's good, we tested. I was kind of scared that it was gonna go into like another ending or something. Don't crash. Next day, Tenochi goes to work on his moped like usual. He returns after sunset. There's no sign of his daughter, Nae, or his wife. Something finally happens early Sunday morning. 6 people show up. It's them. Dark. We've already read all this. I'm just trying to make sure. He loads it. They drive away. So on and so forth. What now? I saw Ryan last night. It was really pretty. I hope you really get up at the same time, because then it would be like we were close by, even if we were really far away. Stars are romantic if you think like that, aren't they? Alright, and this is where we left off, I believe. ... Kurisu sighs when she sees me. I thought I asked you to keep me posted. I've been busy. Busy, right. Kurisu glances at Moeka. Were you worried about me? Of course not. Why should I care what you're up to? It's just, Mayuri was really worried. I don't want to see her sad. So at least give her a call, okay? Now that she mentions it, it feels like I haven't talked to Mayuri in forever. Call Mayuri. Call her. Call her. No, but I'm doing this to save Mayuri. I'm close to discovering our true enemy. Our enemy? But... Kurisu glances at Moeka again. Moeka is completely expressionless. She's lightly kicking the dirt in boredom. She hasn't used her phone once since we began the search for FB. Isn't she our enemy? She is an enemy, but we're cooperating in order to uncover the truth. Isn't she the one who killed Mayuri? Yes. However, Moeka is just a pawn, and one that no longer poses a threat. To save Mayuri, I need to capture the king. Well, the king's cell phone. Whatever, so where are you going now? Take me with you. Have you gone mad, assistant mine? I'm perfectly sane, and I'm not your assistant. It could be dangerous. Eh? Kurisu falters for a moment, but quickly tightens her expression. Do I die today? I've experienced the future, so I know who dies today. No, you don't die. Then there's no problem. This world line is essentially guaranteed my survival. Right, Kurisu doesn't die today, neither does Mayuri. The only person who dies today is... Kiryu Moeka. This afternoon, she kills herself. Try not to kill yourself with this, okay? No, you can't make me like her. I mean, I already liked her before, but you can't let me go back. She's very cute. I don't like this. I've already told Moeka her fate. But in spite of that, Moeka doesn't seem upset. At least on the surface. She's expressionless as always. The only difference is that she's not checking her phone as often. But Moeka's not a strong woman. Beneath that expressionless mask, she is struggling against the fear of death. Is she struggling against the fear of death? Blah, blah, blah. I decide to confront Tenochi directly. I have Kurisu stand guard outside the house while Moeka and I go inside. Not that we're planning to break in, we ring the doorbell like honest citizens. Tenochi soon opens the door and invites us into the living room. The divergence meter is sitting in its usual spot. I glance at the numbers. 0.523307%. There's still a long way to go before I reach 1%. How much more of this can I take? Make yourselves at home. It's just after dawn, much too early for guests, but Tenochi welcomes us with a smile. He even starts preparing some instant coffee. You're an early riser, Mr. Braun. Yeah, gotta see my little girl off to school. You know, I know it's summer break, but habits die hard. Is your daughter still asleep? Hey, you thinking of trying something while she's sleeping? Touching will break your head, got it? Don't worry. I'm more interested in his wife. There's still no sign of her. Is she asleep too, or could she be hiding somewhere? I'd like to do a thorough search of the house, but of course it's impossible. And then there's what he said just now about seeing Nae off to school. That sounded like something a single father would say. I suspected that FB was Tenoji's wife, but that may have been a mistake. Maybe Tenoji is just another courier after all. Maybe he doesn't even know about FB. There's a possibility that FB might not even be an Occupa. I need answers. But how do I get them? Mocha is just staring at the floor. I can't count on her for any bright ideas. And whether or not Tenoji's wife is FB, I don't think this man will fall for any tricks. I decided to go for the direct approach. A few hours ago, 6 men stopped by this house to pick up a package, which they then delivered to France. You were there, I saw you. This time, Tenoji doesn't give his usual macho attitude, he just smiles softly. And? The package contained an IBM 5100. You know what that is, of course. Yeah, the legendary retro PC. It's too easy, he's never this cooperative. Are you just another courier, or are you... a rounder? ... Instead of answering my question, Tenoji looks straight at Moeka. Did you betray us, M4? Huh? Moeka jerks upright. M4 is Moeka's codename, something only FB should know. No. Are you FB? Tenoji laughs once, a dry sound. Ever heard of Ferdinand Braun? Moeka and I look at each other, confused by the sudden change of topic. Come on, he was the Nobel Prize-winning physicist who invented the Braun tube. Tenoji has a thing for Braun tubes, I know that. But what does that have to do with anything? Ferdinand Braun? Initials? Ah! B. Oh shit! Now you get it. Oh damn, alright, man, chill, let's chill. Doneycatjr produces his handgun. The motion is so smooth and natural that I don't even recognize it as a gun at first. Its heavy form gives off a chilling black luster. The muzzle is pointed at Moeka. What? Moeka and I are unarmed. We didn't plan for this. How could we have? We thought FB was Tenoji's wife, not the man himself. Let me ask you one thing. Your wife. She died having Nae. Why? I cursed silently. No wonder I've never seen her. She's been dead for years. Tenoji is FB. No. That can't be. I thought I was your world, M4. Now you're running away? Keeping his gun trained to Moeka, the man I knew as Mr. Braun laughed scornfully. We're at an overwhelming disadvantage. I was a fool to believe the direct approach would work. Now my recklessness is gonna get both of us killed. No, not both of us. I don't die here. I'm here because I time-leaped to the 16th. The fact is written on the fabric of this world line. So if the attractor field model is right, I can't possibly die now, on the morning of the 15th. My survival is guaranteed by the same force that keeps killing Mayuri. However, Moeka has no such protection. She dies today, it doesn't matter how. She could easily die now, right before my eyes. What am I gonna do about it? Nothing. It doesn't matter. My goal is to obtain FB's cell phone and send a email to Moeka in the past. That is the reason I'm here. In any case, I mustn't let his handgun scare me. There's no turning back now, all I can do is stay on the offensive. So you're a rounder. Stern's dog! Their dog? Yeah, you ain't wrong. Tenoji is like a different person today. He's composed, he doesn't get angry, even when I provoke him. You wouldn't expect a man with a gun to be so calm. Is this who he really is? Was that gruff but good-natured storekeeper just an act? If you shoot, it'll wake up your daughter. So what? Do you want your daughter to see you commit murder? My little girl's smart as a button, she'll understand. I grind my teeth. I can't believe you're a rounder, you of all people. Hashida Suzu didn't give you a home so you could turn it into a safe house for Stern. Tenoji's smile stiffens for a second, but then he slaps his knee and laughs. You do Suzu-san? You should have said something. Tenoji and I haven't spoken about Suzuha on this world line. Anyway, what gives you the right to speak for her, huh? She died 10 years ago. You were what, 8? How do you know how she'd feel? She told me. I glare at Tenoji, the anger and frustration are overwhelming. She was here in this time not 5 days ago. I'll bring it here to you and Akibara. That's my duty, and I'll see it through. The rest is up to you. Change the future, please. I still remember her words vividly, though it feels like it's been forever since she spoke them. No, in objective time, it was just a few days ago. She was right here. She was right there and you never knew it. Hashida Suzu, no Amane Suzuha, was a time traveler. She came from the future to stop CERN. What? What? You never noticed, FB? The woman who saved your life came from the year 2036. She was one of us, a lab member, the daughter of Hashida Itaru. Suzuha hated CERN, and here you are, a man who owes her everything, doing their dirty work. Is this how you honor Suzuha's memory? He's gonna shoot Moeka. Stop making shit up. Tenoji thrust his gun at me. I barely managed to keep from flinching. How'd you turn out this way? Fuck you, it's complicated. Complicated? Is that supposed to be an excuse? Are you... FB? Moeka looks completely lost. Tenoji sighs and lowers his gun. Yeah, I am. The mail. I wrote them. Why'd I pretend to be a woman? Camouflage, obviously. Had to hide my identity. The internet's full of guys pretending to be girls. I gotta say though, M4, you send too much goddamn mail. Who has time for that shit? You better be grateful I bothered to reply. No. Baby was like a mother to me. I'd do anything for FB. That was the point. It's easy to manipulate nutjobs like you. You gotta give him something to cling to. Enough! I approach Noji but freeze once he points the gun at me again. Did you stop emailing me? Huh? Oh, right. Your usefulness ended the second you dropped off that IBM 5100. I'm useless? That was obvious. I've been telling her this the whole time that FB abandoned her. I guess it wasn't real to her until she heard it from FB's own mouth. Recruiting members directly is bad for secrecy, but the rounders make up for it by choosing excellent, expendable assets with nowhere else to go. Any member who finds an IBM 5100 is eliminated, no exceptions. What? What is he saying? That way, CERN gets to keep their secrets, plus have a cheap army of outcasts like us. We're all expendable, every last one of us, and it sucks, let me tell you. Without dropping a smile, Tenoji takes his gun. Oh, dang. As soon as our job's done, they get rid of us. Guess it makes us cattle, not dogs. And presses it against the side of his head. Disobey orders, then they go after your family. I can't let them touch my little girl, can I? Wait, don't... Sorry for everything, Suzu-san. Really, how did I turn out this way? Oh, he pulls the trigger. Okay. Why? Brains splatter against the wall. Tenoji's massive body drops to the floor and sprawls out motionless. The dark red stain begins to spread over the tatami mats. He's dead. Tenoji is dead. It's over, and I still don't understand. Don't make that. That's gross sound effect. That's gross. It's over, and I still don't understand what happened. And his daughter's here. Would he have killed himself even if he hadn't confronted him? Was his death too the will of fate? Tenoji had completed his mission. Maybe he chose to eliminate himself rather than face CERN's assassins. You fool. I bite down hard on my lip. I pound my fists against the floor. You left your daughter all alone. You meant to protect her with his sacrifice, but what is Nai supposed to do now? How could you die with a smile? All rounders are expendable, he said. Does that mean FB was just another pawn? Is that how CERN operates? That's insanity. This can't be real. Nai, is she still sleeping in the next room, blissfully unaware of her father's suicide? Probably not. This is a small house. How do I explain this to her? Should I run? Again, strictly speaking, my purpose is to obtain FB's phone. Once I send the D-mail and change the world line, all of this will be undone. I can run like a coward and no one will know. I'll know. I timidly slide open the door to Nai's bedroom. It looks like you'd expect. There's a red backpack hanging next to the desk and there's a futon laid out on the floor. But Naya isn't there. The window is open, the lace curtains are waving as if to invite the fresh morning breeze inside. She's gone? Where did she go? No, don't tell me CERN kidnapped her. I don't even know if she was here when we arrived. None of this makes sense. This isn't the world I know. His phone. I need Tenoji's phone. I'm relieved Naya isn't here. I don't have to tell her about her father's death. I find Tenoji's phone in his pants pocket. I was ready to kill him for it if I had to. I never thought he would kill himself. And now I'm looting his dead body like a hyena scavenging for scraps of meat. I make myself want to puke. I leave as soon as I have the phone, dragging the catatonic Moeka with me. We regroup with Kurusu, who is worried sick waiting outside, and hail a taxi. I wish we hadn't spent so much time parked near Tonoji's house. Once the body is found, the police might trace the rental car back to us. Maybe we should have reported it first, but I'd rather not have to answer any questions. Besides, soon, none of this will have happened. Oy oy oy. So the manager was FB. First, we take Moeka back to her apartment. There I explain to Kurusu what happened. Moeka didn't say a word on the way back. Now she's sitting on the floor by the entrance, staring off into space. It must have been quite a shock to hear Tonoji, FB's, confession. The one person she trusted betrayed her. She may never recover. But were Tonoji's actions really a betrayal? I'm not quite convinced. Something felt off back there. Rounders who complete their mission are eliminated, no exceptions. That's what FB said. But in that case, why wasn't Moeka killed? Hey, Moeka. It's possible that FB did what he did so you could live. Maybe he didn't abandon you. Maybe by pushing you away, he was trying to keep you safe. This may just be wishful thinking. We'll never know FB's true intentions, but I want to believe that Tonoji did care for her, that there was a place for Moeka somewhere. What am I doing? Why am I trying to comfort Moeka? Maybe I'm just soft. Okabe, we need to send the email now. Kurusu's expression is grave. Miss this chance and you could be in a lot of trouble. Kurusu had the same thought as me. Your goal is to save Mayuri, not take revenge on CERN, right? I don't want anyone else to be hurt because of the machine we built. Yeah, you're right. FB's phone is in my possession. There's no longer any reason to stay on this world line. It's only a matter of time until the police come looking for us. I should send the email immediately. When I do, the present will be reconstructed. Tonoji will still be alive, Moeka will still be in contact with FB, and at last, the Ivan 5100 will return to me. I just need to think about saving Mayuri, and all will be well. Do you think Dario's still in the lab? I'll try calling. I'll send them the same message I tried to send earlier from Moeka's phone, only this time will be from FB's phone. When Moeka sees it, she'll believe it to be an order from FB. Knowing her dependence on FB, she'll obey without question. It makes me sick to be taking advantage of Moeka's vulnerabilities like this. How am I any different from FB? He said he'll be there in 5 minutes. So we just wait until then. By the way, something weird happened back there. After closing her phone, Kurusu glances at Moeka and lowers her voice. While I was waiting outside, I heard a gunshot. And right after that, I saw her. Her? Who? I ask, even though I already know the answer. There's only one person it could be. Nai-chan. She ran out of the back door. When I called her to stop, our eyes met. Kurusu bites her lip as if fighting an unpleasant memory. It happened right after she heard the gunshot. If that's true, then Nai saw her father die. She saw her father die and ran away. Huh? There's a knock on the door. Someone's here. Who? Moeka, who's been squatting by the entrance, slowly lifts her head. This is wrong. The timing's too perfect. Today, Kira Moeka dies. This world line has already approved that fate. Has it come to her for her already? Moeka reaches for the doorknob. Wait, don't! I try to stop her. But too late, Moeka is already turning the doorknob. The door opens slowly. And there stands... Oh, Nae. An innocent greeting. A child's voice, familiar. How did she find this place? How did she get here? Why did she come here? She ran away. Our eyes met. Right after I heard the gunshot. Yeah, that sounds about right. Naya steps up to Moeka. Moeka's body blocks my view. Yeah, that's fair. Next instant, Moeka drops to her knees like a string-cut puppet. An innocent laugh. Hands dyed with blood. A cleaver in her hand. A cleaver? Damn! Okay. No way. Yes way. Naya... I voiced that weird. Naya's lips twist into a victorious sneer. She looks straight at me, her eyes burning with intense hatred. Those aren't the eyes of a child. What's going on here? Is this really Naya? I won't forgive you. The venom in her voice chills him to the bone. Daddy died because of you. I'll never forgive you. I'll kill you with my own 2 hands. Kurusu and I stare in shocked silence. Neither of us can move a muscle. Okabe Rintaro. My heart skips a beat. I feel like someone just walked over my grave. I'll come for you in 15 years. I hope you spend them quivering in terror. Holy shit. Oh, damn, okay. Naya tosses the knife away and leaves, laughing all the while. I hear the sound of her footstep, pattering down the stairs. Soon they fade away, leaving us in silence. Okay. That's, what the hell was that? A demon? Was she possessed? My entire body is shaking. I have to struggle just to move a finger. What about Mocha? Mocha's clothes are soaked in blood. There's a gaping wound in her abdomen where Naya stabbed her. Calm down. Chrissy yells for me to come to my senses, and then she takes out her phone. Check on Kiryu-san. I'll call an ambulance. No, wait, before that, maybe you should just send the D-mail. Even now, Kurisu is calm. I feel an irrational surge of anger at her composure, but I know that she's right. Once I send the D-mail, this world line will be undone. I know that, but still I run to Moeka's side. Yeesh. When I lift her up in my arms, I see that her chest is already covered in blood. Moeka! She's my enemy. Hang in there. She killed Mayuri. Can you hear me? Moeka! I can't understand her. I can't forgive her. And yet, I can't help but call her name. Because in a sense, she's a victim too. Yeesh. Moeka slowly opens her eyes. Her eyes are blank and unfocused. She's fading fast. I can't. She tries to speak, but her voice catches in her throat. I bring my ear closer to her lips. I... One... Precious... To... You. Yes, you did. Countless times. Not on this world line, but on others. His... punishment. The will of fate. Sorry. I'm sorry. I silently squeeze Moeka's hand. Moeka doesn't squeeze back. She no longer has the strength. I had nothing except be the only place I belonged. I would kill you protected. You're right to hate me. I'm sorry. I forgive you. The words come to my lips unbidden. But as soon as I speak them, I understand why. Moeka does not kill Mayuri on this world line. Even if she could, it would not happen until tomorrow. This Moeka, the one dying in my arms, is innocent. And yet, even now, she says I'm sorry. How can I not answer her? I forgive you. Perhaps the words are meaningless. Forgiving Moeka will not cure Naya's hate, neither will Moeka's death. I don't even know if I truly mean what I'm saying. But still, I remember what Kurisu said. My goal is to save Mayuri, not avenge her. So here, now, I forgive you. The anguish seems to fade from Moeka's face. Her eyes slowly close. A tear slides down Moeka's cheek. Her hand slips from my grasp. She's no longer breathing. Biting my lip, I lay Moeka to rest on the floor. I place her purple phone in her hands. Okabe, Kurisu calls me in a weak voice. I think you should send the D-mail. Everything's ready at the lab. Yeah. Moeka and FB are gone, but Mayuri's fate remains unchanged. The universe still demands her death. Hey, Christina. When I send the D-mail and change divergence, do you think Moeka's fate will change? Based on the attractor field model you spoke of? She'll be more likely to live if divergence exceeds 1%. Sorry, I wish I knew what to say. Don't worry about it. I stand up. Moeka's blood clings to my hands. It won't come off even when I wipe it with a tissue. I stop trying and take out FB's phone. I nod to Kurisu. She calls Daru and tells him to activate the phone wave name subject to change. I take one last look at Moeka's body lying there. Causality is a strange and terrifying thing. Just in case. Just in case. Terrifying thing. At the beginning of all this, Moeka killed Mayuri. But now Moeka lies dead while Mayuri still lives. All because I changed the past. Moeka, if you're going to apologize for a sin you didn't commit, then I must apologize as well. I am responsible for twisting your fate. And for twisting the fate of Tennoji Nae. I ruined that innocent girl's life, made her something other than what she was meant to be. Is it okay to just leave her like this? course, if I send the email now, this world line will be undone. Naya's twisted fate will be corrected. There's no point in worrying about it. I should just think about Mayuri. I shouldn't burden myself with any more problems. Is this really okay? Of course it is. Send the email. That's all I need to do. Why won't my fingers move? I already know what I need to do. And yet... Akabe? Wasn't there something strange about that girl? That girl? You mean Naya-chan? I nod. She was like a different person. What does she mean she'll kill me in 15 years? It bothers me. Does she know something? What was she implying? Don't worry about it, Akabe. Send the email right now. That'll solve everything. I put FB's phone in my pocket. I can't pretend I didn't see that. Naya's crime is partly my responsibility, and I need to know what she meant when she promised to kill me in 15 years from now. I'm time leaping, back to the lab. Kusu sighs, but I pretend not to hear it. Okay, I guess I don't know. Our enemy, but... Kusu glances at Moeka, then whispers into my ear. Isn't she our enemy? It's about 7 AM, right? Huh? Well, yeah, but where did that question come from? After time leaping 4 hours back, I found myself in front of the station. This is right after Moeka and I met with Kurusu after returning from Narita Airport. After this comes the Tennoji residence. Moeka is standing a few meters away, kicking the dirt in boredom. Moeka was dead just a few minutes ago, but now she's perfectly fine. I feel no surprise. I suppose I've grown accustomed to this particular facet of time travel. After all, I've seen Mayuri come back to life countless times already. There's one other thing experience has taught me. Today, Moeka and Tennoji will die, but there's nothing we can do to stop it. I know it's cruel, but I didn't come back here to save them. I don't have the means to, and it isn't my problem. The problem is Nae. We arrive in front of Tennoji's house, just like we did before I time leaped. But this time I wait outside with Kurusu. Moeka enters alone, expressionless as ever. While we wait outside, I tell Kurusu what's about to happen. I also tell her to wait a little while after she hears the gunshot, and then go inside and take Tennoji's phone. It feels like an eternity passes in silence. And then... Ah! Kurusu gasps, her body goes stiff. There really was a gunshot! I immediately look around. Just as Kurusu told me, I see a girl come out of the window. She walks away quickly, but at the same time taking care not to make a sound. That's not how a child acts after witnessing her father's death. Wait! Naya looks over her shoulder. She spears me with her eyes full of hatred. That alone is enough to make me shiver. It's pitiful, but a tiny little girl is making me nervous. Something is very wrong here. This Naya is like a completely different person. I want to know her true identity. That's why I time leaped instead of sending the email. Naya is still running. I ignore my calls to stop. I run after her. Out of shape though I may be, I'm still more than a match for a 12-year-old girl. The distance between us quickly shortens. Naya keeps running, occasionally looking back at me and grinding her teeth in a very unchildlike manner. Normally, a child being chased by a man will cry and scream things like, "Stay away!" or "Help!" But this girl says nothing. The only sound is her heavy breathing. Stop! I call out to her once more when she's nearly in arm's reach. Unexpectedly, Naya slows down and eventually stops to catch her breath. Looks like she's realized she can't get away. From the sound of her breathing, she must be at her limit. We're alone. Kurusu and Moeka still must be at the house, and the streets are empty thanks to the Obon holidays. Perfect. I was afraid someone might report me as a child molester. Now I can get what I need to know out of this strange girl who looks like Naya. I call out to her as I catch my breath. Are you really Tennoji Naya? Naya glares at me as she catches her breath. You plan to kill Kiryu Moeka after this, don't you? That's right. She punctuates her nonchalant reply with a cruel smile. That is not the face of a child. Revenge for your father? You and Kiryu Moeka killed Daddy. Your dad killed himself. He blew his own brains out. He would have done it even if we hadn't been there. It's not our fault. I don't care. What? Kiryu Moeka was there when Daddy died, but she didn't stop him. I won't forgive her. Nor you, Okabe Rintaro. You weren't there, but Daddy wouldn't have died if you hadn't gotten involved. Wait, she blamed me for finding the IBM 5100? How the hell was I supposed to know? But
won't kill you now. I can't.
The tiny little girl, barely half my height, looks up at me with a smile that chills my blood.
I'll kill you in 15 years. Keep living in fear until then.
I get on my knees and grab Naya by the shoulders. I hold back my terror and meet her stare for stare. And yet, this girl doesn't even flinch. Who are you? She isn't Tonoji Naya. What do you mean you'll kill me in 15 years?
Exactly what it sounds like.
15 years?
15 years from now, I killed you.
Killed? Why is she using past tense? Naya laughs once, a harsh and mocking sound. Then she leans in and whispers.
You still don't get it? Just now you asked who I am. I'm Tonoji Naya, no doubt about that. But I remember the next 15 years.
No. Did she... time leap? Ooh. Ah! Naya suddenly whips out a knife, catching me completely off guard. Oh! Naya drives a knife into the elbow of my right arm, which was grabbing her shoulder. Blood sprays onto Naya's face, but she doesn't even blink. Instead... she laughs. Just like she laughed when she killed Moeka. Damn it. The intense pain brings me to my knees. For a moment I panic, but somehow I manage to convince myself that I'm fine. I won't die here, I tell myself. This world line won't accept that. It's just like Naya said herself. It's not that she won't kill me, she can't. If she tried, something would surely interfere.
Want to hear how I killed you? In the future, you were one of the founders of the Resistance Against Earth. But I captured you and imprisoned you and tortured you every which way I could think of. You cried and screamed and begged for your life, all while covered in piss and shit. You were one sorry sight, Okabe Ritaro. After I ran out of things to do, I finally slit your throat and then stabbed you over and over and over again, so many times I don't even remember. That's how your life is gonna end. That's your punishment for murdering Daddy.
Naya grabs my arm and digs her tiny fingers into the wound. Ah! Ah! There you go. My nerves burst into flames, not even just my arm, but throughout my entire body. The pain forces the air out of my lungs in a blood-curdling scream. I can't shake off Naya's hands. I can't even move a finger against the pain.
Sir confiscated your timing machine. They kept it locked away for 15 years until I came for it. After I became a rounder and killed you, I used that machine to come all the way back here. It was hard, let me tell you. That piece of shit can't leave more than 48 hours at a time.
To travel 15 years in 48 hours increments would take... Damn, I can't calculate through the pain.
2,738 leaps. I messed up a few times though, so it was really more like twice that, at least. I kinda lost count after a while.
Now I get it. When I came to this world line, I went back to the lab after learning of Moeka's suicide, and once I got there, I found evidence someone had used the time leap machine. So that was Naya's final time leap. Naya keeps staring into my eyes as her fingers crawl deeper into my wound. I bite my lip in a desperate attempt to bear the pain. My blood won't stop flowing. It collects into a puddle and stains the asphalt dark red.
Revenge is all I live for. I won't let anyone get in my way. I'll kill Moeka with my own two hands. I won't let that bitch kill herself. She doesn't deserve to go out easy.
You left 15 years just for that? She's insane. And it was Moeka and I who made her that way, who turned her, an innocent little girl, into a creature of hatred starved for vengeance. We stole 15 years of her life. 15 years? I can't understand what it's like to live with such hatred for so long.
Just for that?
Ow. Naya's slender fingers pry deeper into my wound, so deep I can feel her fingers against my bone.
Might not mean much to you, but to me, killing you too means everything.
So you kill Moeka, but what comes next?
Next?
Are you gonna repeat those 15 years all over again?
What do I care about those 15 years? There's nothing for me there.
She does not cry, she does not sneer, her voice is flat and emotionless as she speaks these words. There's nothing more I can say to this girl I destroyed. At last, Naya lets go of my arm. She looks in disgust at her hands, now covered in my blood.
I don't need anything from you now. Just wait in fear and regret, Okabe Rintaro, until I come for you in 15 years.
I'm powerless to stop her from running away. Dry laughter leaks out of my mouth. That girl is disconnected from causality just like I am. I asked her what she would do after killing Moeka. She didn't answer. The first time she lived those 15 years, all she had to do was revenge. And after time leaping thousands of times, she exacted that revenge. How will she live those 15 years the second time around? Will she kill me again? Will her revenge be complete then? Or will it continue forever until even she forgets why? The thought squeezes my heart like a vice. Does time travel bring nothing but pain? We built the time machine out of curiosity. We were fools. If not for our meddling, CERN would not have targeted us. Mayuri would not have died. Suzuha would not have had to travel to the past. Feiris would not have lost their father twice. Lukiko would not have had to forsake her feelings for me, and Moeka would not have killed Mayuri.
Wakabe!
Kurisu runs up to me. She turns pale at the sight of my bleeding arm.
What happened? Are you okay?
She kneels in front of me, worries etched on her face. The phone.
I brought it, but...
Kurisu hands me FB's phone. I take it and start typing out the mail with my left hand.
Hey, tell me what happened, will you? Should I call an ambulance?
Calm down. I'm gonna send the D-mail now.
Right, if the world line changes, then this wound will go away.
Yes, but who cares about my wound? Stop search. Tenoji's death, Moeka's death, and the damage to Naya's soul will all be undone. PC unneeded. That's what matters. Stand by. I finish the mail and take a breath. Hey, why do you think Tenoji didn't kill Moeka?
What do you mean?
Any rounder who finds an IBM 5100 is silenced, no exceptions. That's what Tenoji said. In that case, the one who should have been eliminated first was Moeka. She found the IBM 5100 in the first place, and yet Tenoji cut contact with her instead. And when we exposed his true identity, he shot himself, not Moeka. I think he wanted to save Moeka. Perhaps that's just wishful thinking. Perhaps I'm just looking for an ounce of comfort in all this suffering. Even if that was Tenoji's intention, it was meaningless. Moeka will die today, whether by her own hands or Naya's. It doesn't matter. However, I hope it works out on the Beta World line. They're the enemy. I should hate them for killing Mayuri. But in some sense, Tenoji, Moeka, and Naya are all just victims of my foolish experiments. I pray that they can live normal lives, at least on the Beta World line. For their sake as well as Mayuri's, I must send this email. Sorry, Naya. Once this email is sent, this world line will be undone. But I can't let you have your revenge.
Bing.
Well, that didn't go up much. What, it went up by 0.05? The world line shatters, warps, and reforms. Eventually, those sensations disappear and color gradually returns to the world. I find myself standing in the street near the lab. The burning pain in my right arm is suddenly gone. I look down, there's no wound, no blood. Instead, I'm holding a convenience store bag with 2 bottles of Dr. P. I guess it worked. I head straight for Moeka's apartment. When I get there, Moeka opens the door normally and peeks out at me. She looks fine, no signs of despair, no blood stain by the door, no knife either. Oh, Kabe, good. Judo, where? Let me kill some time here. I barge into the room. The hour of Moeka's death passes with no sign of Nae. The world line has changed. I don't need an IBM 5100 anymore, Moeka. Moeka's right in front of me, but she sends me mail. It feels like forever since we last conversed like this. What do you mean? My supervisor told me to stop looking, Moeka. FB told you to stop?
Huh?
How do you know about FB? Where'd you get that information? So FB is still alive. I feel relief, but also fear. I must forget that he is my enemy. For now, however, I'm more interested in what Moeka just said. FB canceled her mission to retrieve the IBM 5100? Doing your duty sets you up for disposal, so we're more like cattle than dogs. I recall his last words. Perhaps he canceled her mission so that they wouldn't be eliminated. If that's the truth, then maybe he really was trying to save Moeka.
Live in fear and Greta Carventaro until we meet again in 15 years.
I wonder what happened to Nae. I can't get that childish yet hate-filled voice out of my head. On that world line, I turned an innocent girl into a murderer. I bite my lip hard enough to draw blood. I won't fear you, Nae, nor will I repent. That world line has already been undone. But how will things turn out in this new world line? No, there's no point in thinking about it. If the plan worked, the IBM 5100 would already be back in my possession. And if that's the case, then there's no need to stay on this world line either. On the way back to the lab, I stop by the Braun Tube workshop and peek in through the window. The 42-inch CRT is now powered on, and Tenoji, FB, is lounging by the front of it, reading the sports pages. FB is still alive. His daughter, Nae, has no reason to hate me anyone now. I climb the stairs to the lab. There's nobody there but Kurisu. Have you been to Kuru Moeka's apartment? Huh? Kurisu pauses her at-channel browsing session to look at me in confusion. Moeka-san's apartment? Never. Oh, okay.
I haven't haven't seen you in a while. Okarin's been acting strange recently, so she didn't go to Kamima today. Are you at the lab? Maybe I'll go there now. I haven't seen you in a couple of days, you know. We usually see each other every day, so it's really lonely. I know it's only been 4 days at most, but I'm used to being with you all the time. I'm your hostage, remember? Don't let go.
I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Why do you ask? It doesn't matter, just wondering. I cut across the lounge and head straight for the development room. In the middle of that room sits the time loop machine. After a glance at the time machine, I scanned the shelves. It's here! A large, familiar cardboard box. I was right. Inside the box is the IBM 5100, the legendary retro PC stolen from me by a twist of fate. At last, it has returned! The long battle is finally over. I did it. We can save Mayuri. Daru, where's my super hacker? I can't contain my excitement. My heart is beating like a jackhammer. He's not here. He went to Kamima, remember? Oh, right. In that case, he won't return until evening. I can't wait that long. So I fire up the time machine and leap. As shape and color return to the world, I see Daru in front of his computer, sleepily playing an eroge. Kirisu's napping on the sofa. She probably just got done with her all-nighter on the time loop machine. Mayuri's not around. She probably went to Lugako's to beg him to cosplay. Daru! Christina! Kirisu jerks awake. It's time for the final phase of Operation Verdhandi. My sonorous declaration earns only blank stares. Why are they so slow? The IBM 5100! Daru! Yeah? Listen to me, man. We have an IBM 5100! Of course we do. You're the one who found it, Okarin. Yes, I did. I found it at Yanabayashi Shrine. Have you been drinking too much soda? Let me sleep, for crying out loud. Kurisu rubs her eyes and complains she looks dead tired. I was up all night. A question, Daru. Have you researched how to use the IBM 5100? Well, yeah, I guess. Can you believe I did it while preparing for Kamima? I'm like a saint or something. They'd knight me for this in England. We shall call you Sir Super Hacker. Hell no. Will you guys shut up? You're giving me a headache. If Daru knows how to use the IBM 5100, then we can hack CERN right now. Hear me, lab mems. Mayuri's not here, but that's actually more convenient. Our long struggle has last reached its climax. Ragnarok is at hand. Now we must deliver the decisive blow. With the power of the IBM 5100, we shall crack CERN's most secure database and destroy it from the inside. Through the cowardly apparatus known as Echelon, the enemy has acquired precious intelligence on our activities. Now they plot to stir a secret time machine upon which rest the hopes and dreams of all mankind. Beneath its scholarly trapping, CERN is a hive of scum and villainy. If many would sacrifice innocent souls in their quest to rule all space and time, but now we are poised to crush them with the hammer of justice. And when we do, they will know once and for all by whose hand the wheel of fate truly turns. When the sun sets upon the battlefield, the foul system that rules the world will crumble, and from the flames a new age will arise. An age of glorious, unfettered chaos. Ah, shut up! Kurisu gets fed up and rises from the sofa. What are you talking about? Nobody can know the darkness in Okarin's heart. First, get your character straight. What kind of mad scientist talks about the hammer of justice? I guess he just got caught up in the heat of the moment. Maybe he regrets it now. Come on, guys. Stop complaining and get ready. Get ready? To crack CERN. Weren't you listening? I don't think that's a good idea. When did you become a goody two-shoes? Where's your ambition? Are you trying to get us arrested? That's not a problem. I fight the urge to grind my teeth. Instead, I fix Kurisu with my stare. It's taken me so long just to reach this point. This is my chance to escape the Alpha World Line and save Mayuri. I won't let anyone get in my way. Anyone! Okabe? Well, why so serious, man? I've got good reason. To them, only half an hour has passed since the time machine was built. But to me, many days have passed since this ordeal began. You should explain this to them. Please! I bow my head deeply. Please hear me out. Or else Mayuri will die in 26 years the world will be ruled by CERN. Suzuha's sacrifice will have been just for nothing. Daru claps me on the shoulder, then smiles broadly and thrusts his thumb skyward. It's not like I'm cracking for you or anything, okay?
Oh god.
I bust out in laughter. Mr. Supahaka, Tsundere version, is here to save the day. I couldn't have asked for a better right-hand man. As Daru hooks the IBM 5100 into his PC, I explain the situation one more time. Let's hope this is the last. This all happened because of the very first email I sent to Daru. Stern intercepted that email with Echelon and figured out what it meant, then sent the Rounders after us. They will kill Mayuri, kidnap us, and steal the time leap machine. Some years after that, I assume, Daru and I escaped and formed the resistance to which Suzuha belonged. I tried to save Mayuri, but nothing worked. Every world line converged on the same result, just as the tractor field theory said they would. You know, if this is all in your head, I think you've got a career in as a light novel author ahead of you. It's true, all of it. To prevent Mayuri's death, and to free Suzuha's future from CERN, we need to escape from the Alpha world line, and I think we can do it by canceling all of our changes to the timeline so far. That should return us to the Beta world line, the world line that existed before I sent that first email. There's just one more step. We need to erase the first email from CERN's database. If what Suzuha said is correct, then erasing that data will take us over 1% divergence and back to the Beta world line. It was just one short email, barely 36 bytes, but it changed the course of human history. The butterfly effect. Fascinating. Kusu mutters as she sips her hot coffee. It looks like she's already recovered from her exhaustion. You believe him, Makaseshi? In theory, I'd like to see objective data, but that's obviously impossible. Relax, your time leap machine worked perfectly. Of course it did. She doesn't deny it, that's just like Kurusu. Besides, we were already planning to crack CERN's database, weren't we? Fine, let's see what's in there. If that mail data exists, then it's proof that what you said is true. So what you're saying is, don't think, feel? Got it. You lost me. What he meant to say was, don't think, do. Daru extracts his massive body from the space behind the desk, plops himself down onto the chair, wipes away his sweat. Done bridging them. I need to tinker with the settings a little, but we should be up and running in about 10 minutes. Alright. The first email started everything. Was that the one you showed me at ATF? The one that said I died or something? Right, I found you dead at Rodicon and sent Daru an email. Daru happened to be experimenting on the phone wave name started to change at the time, so the discharge phenomenon occurred, and the mail was... My voice trails off. Something is telling me to stop. Fear rises in my chest, a sudden terrible certainty that I am missing something vital. I frantically replayed the conversation in my head. We must cancel all our changes to the timeline so far. The very first email started it all. The one that said I died or something. Return to the world line that existed before I sent the first email. Ah! An icy fist seizes my heart and I turn to Kurusu with a look of pure terror. Our eyes meet. Those eyes of hers no longer show the sharp defiance from when we first met. Instead, they glow warmly in the light of curiosity. What? I was right. I'd missed something vital, something dire. The worldline I set my sights on to save Mayuri. The worldline upon which Suzuha started her hope for the future. The worldline I am at last poised to reach at the end of this long struggle. On that worldline, Mayuri lives. On that worldline, CERN fails. And on that worldline, on the 8th floor of Radicon, Makase Kurusu dies. Chapter 10, Stardust Sky. Ah, dear. I thought that I had found the solution, that everything would be alright. But the equation was meaningless. I had solved nothing. Instead, I am left with a terrible choice. Mayuri, or Kurusu. One of them must die. Radicon is still off limits. They haven't yet repaired the hole that Suzuha's time machine made. I look down through the hole at the streets of Akiba. From up here, they look narrow and stifling. Across the way, a train rumbles by. I watch the yellow-striped cars move past. I came here because I wanted to be alone. The day before yesterday, I abruptly canceled the attempt to hack CERN. Kurusu and Daru demanded an explanation, but I just couldn't give them one. The decision has paralyzed me. 2 days later, I'm still nowhere close to finding an answer. What do I do? 2 weeks ago, on July 28th, Dr. Nakabachi held a press conference in this very spot. The same day, Kurusu was murdered. Let's say we go through with the plan and delete the first email I sent, the one about Kurusu's death, from CERN's database. That would return us to the Beta world line where it all began. What would happen then? According to my predictions, our friend, Lab Member 04, Makase Kurusu, would disappear. Someone who died on July 28th cannot be alive now, on August 15th. That would defy causality. A time paradox. That world line has already rejected her existence. The moment we erase the D-mail, Kurusu will cease to exist. And so I am left with two options. Option 1. Hack CERN with the I-5100 and erase the first email I sent, thus returning to the beta world line. Kurusu will disappear, but Mayuri will live. CERN will never build a time machine and the future will be free. Option 2. Don't hack CERN. Keep living here on the Alpha world line. Mayuri will die, so will Moeka and FB. Kurusu will likely be kidnapped by CERN, but at the very least she won't die. With her research, CERN will gain control of space-time and the future will be a dystopia where no one is free. I'm supposed to choose? Ridiculous. I choke out a laugh. How am I, of all people, supposed to make that choice? There's no way. I don't really care about the future, whether it's free or ruled by CERN. I know I should care. Suzuha entrusted me with her wish to me, but doesn't that make it my responsibility? But still, it doesn't seem quite real. 20 years is a long time. Right now, only Mayuri and Kurusu matter. I must choose which to save. If I had been given this choice back on July 28th, before this all started, I would have not have hesitated to abandon Kurusu and save Mayuri. But it's not July 28th, it's August 15th. I've spent 2 long weeks with Kurusu. She's one of us now, an integral part of the lab. And as I leapt through time again and again, she was the person I relied on most. Always calm, always thoughtful, always ready with a new hypothesis, always there to give me a push when I needed it most. I wouldn't even have the time machine if not for Kurusu. It's thanks to her that it made it this far. After all she's done for me, there's no way I can abandon her now. But nor can I let Mayuri die. Everything I've done, I did to save her. I would give anything, even my own life, to see her safe. More than anything, I want her to live. No matter what, I won't let her die. I can't choose. I can't! Kill Kurusu or kill Mayuri. That is what this choice comes down to. Is this how it ends? I drive my fist into the wire fence. Suzuha, Ferris, Lukiko, Moeka, is this what I sacrifice your memories for? Is there no other option? No way to save them both? What if I use Suzuha's time machine? I could return to the beta world line, then use her time machine to travel to July 28th. No, that won't work. The reason Suzuha left in 2010 was to prevent CERN from creating a dystopia. That only occurs on this world line. On the beta world line, she'll have no reason to leave to 2010. Suzuha's time machine won't exist, so I won't be able to use it. Alright, then what if I send Kurusu a warning via D-mail? It could say, don't go to the Dr. Nakabashi's presentation. No, that won't work either. Remember, causality converges. Kurusu's death is inevitable on the beta world line, just as Mayuri's is inevitable on this world line. No matter what I do, fate will ensure her death. There's no way. I slowly sink to the floor with my back against the fence. I can't save her. I'm powerless against the will of fate. What should I do? What should I do? Maybe Mayuri doesn't die on the current world line. I cancel Moeka's D-mail, plus I haven't had an opportunity to check the divergence meter since. Might there be a chance? If the pattern continues, Mayuri's death has been pushed back to the night of the 17th. If Mayuri doesn't die between 7 and 8 p.m. that night, then I won't have to face this horrible decision. I know it's unlikely, I understand that from all my experiences so far, but still I can't help but cling to that hope. Mayuri and Kurusu, if I can just save them both. Then I don't care if the future is ruled by CERN. I'll betray Suzuha's dream if that's what it takes. So please let Mayuri live. To whom should I make this desperate plea? God? Fate? The universe itself? Either way, I'm just one insignificant human among billions. Will my prayers truly reach? I already know what the answer will be. And that knowledge, that certainty, is despair. Kamima runs for 3 straight days, from the 15th to the 17th. On the last day, I go with Mayuri and stay with her from morning until Kamima closes. It's not really my thing, though, and the crowd is ridiculous, so I wait off to the side with Mayuri's bags from time to time. Mayuri appears with new bags for me to guard, and usually a snack for us to share, but most of the day I spend alone. To some extent, I'm here to escape reality, to empty my mind and forget my fears. But even when I close my eyes, I can still hear the footsteps of death approaching.
We're finally home!
It's already dark by the time the bus drops us back at Akiba. Mayuri is dragging her costume case behind her. I'm carrying bags covered in moe artwork and loaded with doujinshi. These are all Mayuri's purchases, not mine. I can't believe she bought so much. I guess the reason she doesn't cosplay herself is that she's too busy shopping. We get off the bus and just stand there for a while. What are you gonna do now? Head straight home?
Actually, I was thinking of going to the lab.
Need something?
Not really, but it's been a while since I got to relax with Ocarine. I'm a little hungry, so I'll buy some juicy chicken number 1 on the way.
Maybe Mayuri wants a taste of normalcy again now that the chaos of Kamima has ended. I can't begrudge her that. I stifle a groan and shrug my shoulders. Back to the lab then.
Hey Ocarine, why'd you go with Mayushi today? You've never come with me to Kamima before. You're not interested in Moe, right?
I like robot anime, but not so much that I'd line up in the morning for Kamima each year like Daru and Mayuri do.
So why'd you go with me today?
Well, to confirm your death. Those words pop into my head, but I quickly shake them away. Why am I so set on Mayuri dying? I want her to live, remember?
Well?
I just felt like it.
Oh.
Suddenly, silence. A downhearted frown replaces a usual smile on Mayuri's face. Did my answer upset her? But it's not like I could tell her the truth. How do you tell someone they're going to die? Lukako. I frantically tried to smooth things over. I thought maybe you'd managed to get Lukako to cosplay, so I came to laugh at him. Too bad he couldn't come.
Yeah, Lukako would be super popular if he did come, though. People would take his picture and post it all over the internet, and everyone in the world would see how cute he is. And after he became a superstar, Mayushi would see him on TV and think, wow, he's gone so far.
It's scary because it's true.
Ocarine,
Suddenly Mayuri turns around and peeks at my face as she walks backwards.
thank you for today.
Why is she thanking me?
Well, like I said, this is the first time Ocarine's ever come to Kamima with me. It made Mayushi really happy.
A smile finally returns to Mayuri's face.
Ah, but you know what would make me even happier? If you cosplay next time.
Yeah, I'll think about it. That's right, don't think negative thoughts. Think about a fun, bright future.
Really? You'll cosplay for me?
Only if you cosplay too. Lukako too, and Christina of course, convince him to cosplay first. If you manage that, then I, the great and insane mad scientist Hoyon Koyoma, will grace Kamima with my August presence. The next Kamima takes place this winter. We'll all be there, as if none of this ever happened. All of us, laughing and smiling together, just imagine a future like that.
Wow, that's gonna be tough. But it sounds really fun too. Besides, I think Christian secretly wants to cosplay, so there's a hope. Mayushi's gonna do her best.
It's cool, we arrive at the lab. I look up at the second floor, but there's no light in the window. Oddly enough, there's nobody there here today. I've got a bad feeling about this. Is Moeka gonna ambush us? On the previous world line, I forgave Moeka and Tennoji. But that has already been undone. This is a new world line, the Rounders are still alive, and they're still after the time leap machine. Wait here, Mayuri. I motion for her to sit and wait on the bench in front, then I carefully check the area. I know my efforts are likely futile, but still, I want to do anything I can, anything to give Mayuri a chance, however small, of surviving on this world line. Something tells me it would be too foolish to go straight up to the lab. So first, I decided to check the street for any suspicious people. I walked down the street toward Kuremabashi Dori, careful to always keep Mayuri in sight. Suddenly, a white station wagon parked at the end of the street fires its engine and takes off in our direction. What? I can see clearly through the front window. The man in the driver's seat is unfamiliar. But I have seen that station wagon before. It's the same one Moeka used to run us over on a previous world line. The same one Tennoji used to transport the Ivan 5100. And now it's bearing down at me at full speed. I'm in the center of the road. There's nowhere to run. The station wagon flips on its high beams, instantly turning my vision white. I can't move. It's all happening too fast. I expected an ambush inside the lab. Instead, I'm facing a charging car. What do I do? I'm fine. I won't die. The world line has to prove that fate. No, wait. What day is it? This is the first time I've made it to the 17th. Does that mean my death is still undecided? Will I die in Mayuri's place? If that will save her, if that will end this, then maybe it's for the best. No, I don't want to die yet. Two contradictory emotions collide in my mind. My body doesn't know which way to turn. Will I be the one to die?
Ocarine!
She's gonna push me out of the way, yeah. Huh? Something slams in my back. I open my eyes. I'm lying on the side of the road. My whole body hurts, but I don't appear to be seriously injured. Someone saved me? I look up to see the station wagon's taillights disappearing around the corner. And there, lying in the center of the road, is Mayuri. Mayuri! I run to her side. Mayuri is bleeding from the head. The pavement is slick with blood. Did she protect me? But that's not what I wanted. I lift her body up in my arms. Her eyes twitch, then slowly open.
Oh, Kari.
Mayuri, I'm sorry, it's my fault. Her hand wanders as if seeking something. It reaches for the starry sky. Her eyelids are heavy, they could close any second now. But still, she looks straight into my eyes. And for some reason, she smiles.
Finally, Mayushi was useful. So great.
What? Stardust handshake. Her delicate fingers grasp at the sky, but all they find is empty air. Her arm goes limp. I grab her hand before it hits the ground. Mayuri is no longer breathing. I've seen her die countless times, but this time it's too much. This time it's all my fault. I embrace Mayuri's tattered body, her lifeless, motionless, tattered body. I clench my jaw and bite back my tears. Mayuri! You can't see the stars from here. How could this happen? Why'd she have to die like this? What possible meaning could this death have? Yes, it happened because fate demanded it. Yes, her death is unavoidable, the result upon which this world line converges. I knew from the beginning that this would happen. But I never imagined that she would die saving me, and with a smile on her face. Didn't she do this exact same thing, like, 10 hours ago? Whatever. What do you mean? You were finally useful. Tell me, Mayuri! No future for Mayuri on this world line. And that brings me once again to the choice. Do I return to the Beta world line, killing Kurisu? Or do I leave things as they are and accept Mayuri's death? I can't run away. I am the one who twisted fate. I am the one who must decide. Alright. Back we go. The sky is blue. I'm on the roof of Rodicon after going back 56 hours with 2 time leaps. I lean against the wire fence and stretch out my legs as I look at the sky. I wanted more time to think, that's why I came back. Last time I spent 2 days refusing to face reality, but that is no longer an option now that I've confirmed Mayuri's death. This time I need to reach a decision. But how? This equation has no solution. No matter what choice I make, someone dies. From a purely utilitarian viewpoint, I should choose this Beta world line where CERN never creates a dystopia. But it's not that simple, and not for me. There must be some other way. According to Suzuha, 2010 is a point of great divergence at the attractor field level. I think that divergence had already commenced by the time I sent the demo reporting Kurisu's death. So when did divergence begin? I can't say for sure, but I think it was the moment we completed the phone wave named Set Us to Change. That was around the middle of July. Daru and I deemed it a failure right after the completion. Daru and I deemed it a failure right after completion. By the time Kurisu was killed, there was already a huge divergence at the attractor field level. Now that I think about it, reading Steiner activated that day when I sent the demail that started it all. At that moment, every pedestrian and vehicle on the main street of Akiba suddenly vanished. That feels so long ago, but now I can finally explain it. That was the moment I moved to the Alpha world line. On the Beta world line where this all began, Suzuha didn't arrive in her time machine. Dr. Nakabachi's conference went ahead as planned, and the flow of tourists and shoppers through Akiba was unimpeded. But when I sent the demail, events changed on a huge scale, from my perspective at least. On the current world line, Suzuha crashed her time machine into the roof of Radicon. Nakabachi's presentation was cancelled, and this part of Akiba was closed to traffic. Because I was out on the street when the world line changed, it appeared to me as if thousands of people had suddenly vanished. The truth is that they were never there to begin with. Like a magician's trick, it's so obvious once you understand how it works. The real problem is the timing of the demail. I moved to the Alpha world line after Kurisu died. If I had sent the demail before she died, then I might have been able to intervene even now on this world line. But no, that would defy causality. I sent that demail because I saw Kurisu's body. That's the way it has to be. Who killed her anyway? I still don't know. It definitely wasn't suicide. What if I identified the murderer and send them a demail warning them off? Would that prevent her death? I mean, no one has tried to kill her on this world line, have they? Maybe there's a chance. However, to send that demail, I would first have to move to the Beta world line. The more I think about it, the more futile it seems. I've already seen Mayuri die countless times. Everything I tried to prevent it failed. I understand all too well. When fate wants someone dead, nothing can stop it. I can't save Kurisu. There you are. Oh no, I thought I was alone, but it seems that I was wrong. I turn around to see Kurisu standing in the open door. I avert my eyes. I can't look her in the face, not now. What are you doing here? Nothing. How'd you know I was here? You said you wanted to be alone. I ran the numbers and concluded that I had the greatest possibility of finding you here. Then leave me alone. You won't have to look for me. I'm not a lost little boy. Hey, is that how you treat someone who's worried about you? Not that I'm worried about you or anything. Right after she gets herself flustered, Kurisu sighs and puts on a serious expression. I was gonna leave you alone at first, but you've been acting weird the last couple days. I mean, you're always weird, but more than usual. You look like a kid forced to eat crappy oatmeal. What happened? Nothing. Then why'd you cancel the cracking of CERN? You're the one who said we shouldn't. Oh, so you're afraid of triggering arrest flags? I get it. You should praise me for obeying the law for a change. That's not like you at all. What happened to your ego? What happened to the insane mad scientist Hoyon Kuyo? To hell with my ego. Huh? This time, it's not that simple. I've foregoed my ego on others before. Suzuha, Feiris, Lukako, I sacrificed their dreams for the sake of my goal. I justified by telling myself that it was necessary to save my Uri. I weighed their suffering against the alternative and made my self-righteous choice. But this time, the alternatives are impossible to compare. I have to choose which friend to let die. It would be so much easier if I knew what was right. Which friend to let die? What are you talking about? I'm just a student, Christina, you know. The insane mad scientist Hoyon Koyoma? That's just a fantasy, a character I made up. I bet you had no idea. I may have figured it out when we first met. What if I hadn't found Kurisu's body back then? Let's try imagining that situation. If I hadn't seen Kurisu dead, I wouldn't have interrogated her before the seminar at ATF. Without her hearing me call her a zombie, she wouldn't have taken an interest in me. She wouldn't have come to the lab. Ultimately, we would never have built the time-leap machine, leaving me without the means to save my Uri. And of course, Kurisu would not have become our friend. We would not be as close as we are right now. Tell me, Okabe, what do you mean? I can't meet her questioning gaze. Do I have to tell you? You've never hesitated to ask me for help before. Don't hold back now. That's not what this is about. Then prepare yourself. What I'm about to tell you is the absolute truth. And it could also be your death sentence. Huh? Kurisu's voice cracks a little. Remember what I told you before? When we delete the D-mail from CERN's database, we'll reach the beta world line where Mayuri doesn't die? And where CERN doesn't take over the world, right? Everyone lives, everyone is free. You made it sound perfect. Perfect? It's anything but. I showed you the first D-mail, didn't I? The one that started it all? On the beta world line, the events described in that D-mail actually happened. Kurisu is a genius. I have no doubt that she understands. Kurisu, on the beta world line, you die on July 28th. And according to the attractor field model, nothing could prevent that from happening. If I want to save my Uri, I have no choice but to let you die. Kurisu says nothing. What expression is she making now? I reluctantly sneak a look at her face. She's staring out across the cityscape. Her eyes look distant. I see neither fear nor sadness in her face. She seems accepting. Kurisu is always like this. Always calm, no matter what. It's hard to believe she's younger than me. Her soft chestnut hair blows in the wind. She lifts a hand to hold it down. Hey Okabe, how credible do you find this retractor field model? Credible? It's all secondhand info from John Tidor, from Amane-san, isn't it? I get that it's the accepted model in 2036. But how exactly did scientists prove the existence of attractor fields? Are you trying to say the model might be wrong? But I know for certain that convergence exists. I've experienced it firsthand. Even if they're right about convergence, what about my relationship between world lines? The moment I change world lines, everything is reconstructed. Past, present, and future. But that's just from your perspective, Okabe. Once you go to the beta world line, the me that your brain perceives will die. In other words, your perspective will have chosen the world line where I die instead of the one where I don't. However, why can't the world your brain perceives be different from the world that my brain perceives? Brains, I forgot her specialty was neuroscience. So you're saying world lines are independent? Like trains, maybe. Trains? Let me give you an easy example. Kurisu takes out her phone and starts fiddling with it. If I want to take the train from Akiba to Yokohama, which route should I use? I didn't know you were a rail fan. It's just an example, jeez. You choose to take the Yamanote Yamanote line to Tokyo Station, then transfer to Tokaido Main Line for the rest of your trip. Kurisu keeps talking as she looks at her phone, apparently reading off an itinerary. But I take the Yamanote line to Asaki, then transfer to Shonan Shinjuku line. Another person, say Hashida-san, might decide to take the train to the Toku line for some reason. And Mayuri might ride the Shinkansen from Tokyo. And you and I ride the same train until Tokyo Station, but from there we ride different lines while still aiming for the same destination. And that applies to the universe? You're claiming the existence of parallel worlds? I like to use my imagination too sometimes. But where's the proof that there's only one world? Suzuha said so, and then there's reading Steiner. In other words, an unknown time traveler and your unexplainable superpower. But we know Suzuha. There's no way to prove that she was Hashira's daughter, or anything that she said about 2036 either, not without going there ourselves. And if reading Steiner is what you say, then it means that your subjective experience influences the memories of every single human being. That's completely absurd of Kabe. If it's true, then you're literally a god. But there are no gods in reality. The world doesn't revolve around you. It's just your brain making you believe that it does. If that makes you this world's god, then I must be a god too. My brain is just as big as yours. What are you trying to say? Let's say you choose the world line where I die. That doesn't matter. I have to do the same. That doesn't mean I have to do the same. The fact that I am standing here right now, observing the world from my own subjectivity, I already exist on a world line where I don't die. Even if your perspective shifts to the beta world line, my perspective might remain here. It's a question of where the soul lies, and I won't let you have your way with my soul. No true scientist would accept a hypothesis that flimsy. But there's a chance I'm right. So you have nothing to worry about. Kurusu smiles. How could she smile? I just told her that she's gonna die. The problem is that you don't want to let me die, right? But if my hypothesis is correct, I'll still be alive on another possible world line. So there's no reason to be afraid. It's just a hypothesis. The same is true of attractor fields. It hasn't been proven. Even if someone did prove it by 2036, that doesn't help us here in the present. In other words, anything is possible. Kurusu turns back to me after finishing. It's an armchair theory. A daring armchair theory that could, quite possibly, render meaningless everything I've done up to now. How can Kurusu stay so calm? She's just an 18-year-old girl. You really don't have to worry about me, Okabe. It would just hurt my pride if you did. Don't say it like that. Hello? Mayuri?
Yeah.
Displayed on the screen is Mayuri's face, devoid of its usual brightness for some reason. What's wrong?
I heard from Daro-kun that Okarin's been acting kinda strange. Mayushi was so preoccupied with Kamima, she didn't really notice. Even though she usually notices right away when Okarin's not happy. I'm sorry, Okarin.
Don't apologize. You've done nothing wrong.
Did something happen? Okarin?
Can't tell her, I can't. I've kept it a secret from her all this time. That's the way it has to be. There's nothing wrong.
Oh. You used to talk to Mayushi about a lot of things, remember? Like, the organization's 4 leaders. Names are Back Turkish, Virginian Barb, Balloon Drag Queen, and White-Eyed Gore, right?
Black Tortoise, Vermilion Bird, Blue Dragon, and White Tiger.
Yeah, that. It was really fun talking to Okarin about stuff like that. But now, Okarin, if Mayushi's a burden, just say so, okay?
What? I never...
I'm picking up now. If you feel like talking to Mayushi about anything, just call, okay? Da-da-da!
She hung up on me. What did Mayuri say? How are you a burden? Don't say things like that, damn it! Why is she only serious at times like this? A burden, huh? I've never felt Mayuri was a burden, not once. Then you should tell her that. Maybe it wasn't a good idea to leave Mayuri in the dark. She never looks like she's thinking anything, and yet she saw my doubt? Either way, I can't tell her the truth. Okabe. Kurusu sighs and glares at me. He all you wouldn't have worried about anything. Anyway, you should go see Mayuri. I'm sure she has a lot to say. She's right, even if I don't tell Mayuri the truth, I need to at least tell her something. I'll postpone my decision and go see Mayuri. Alright. It's afternoon on the first day of Kamima, and the crowds are finally beginning to thin out. Of course, the industry booths and cosplay area are still packed, but at least I don't have to wait in line to get in. I've been trying to get in touch with Mayuri for a while now, but she hasn't responded. I checked with Daro, but he hasn't seen her today either. Cosplay ends at 4 p.m. I focus on searching the cosplay area until then, but I still can't find her. Maybe she finished early and went home. I tried calling her home, no luck. They haven't seen her since she left this morning. Where is she? I'm always afraid that she'll disappear the second I take my eyes off her. It's been like that ever since she lost her grandmother. Maybe it's just my imagination. We've been so close for so long. I saw Mayuri at her weakest and most vulnerable. Maybe that is maybe overprotective. Maybe I don't care how other people see us, but I don't care how other people see us. I just can't leave Mayuri alone. I step into the cemetery, the final resting place of Mayuri's beloved grandmother. When was the last time I came here? For about a year after Mayuri became my hostage, I'd periodically accompany her here. But I don't think I've been here since I entered high school, so it's been about 3 or 4 years. As I get close to Mayuri's grandmother's grave, I begin to hear a voice. It's Mayuri. I'd recognize her voice anywhere. It sounds like she's talking to someone. I approach quietly.
Hey, Granny.
Mayuri is standing there, talking to the grave. What a relief, she hasn't disappeared. I decide to watch silently from a short distance away.
I've been having scary dreams lately.
For a second, I wonder if she's learned to commune with the dead, but no, she's just talking to herself.
In my dreams, bad things keep happening to me. Like someone shoots me, or a car hits me, or I get run over by a train.
What? Don't tell me.
It's so real, it hurts so much, and I feel so sad, and I try to call for help, and nothing comes out. Why do you think I'm having these dreams?
Does she remember her deaths? All of them? Is she inheriting memories like I do?
And you know, they always end the same way. Mayushi's crying, and Ocarine comes to save me. Mayushi tries to say thank you, Ocarine, but Ocarine can't hear my voice. He holds Mayushi and makes her a very sad face like he's going to cry, but he never does, you know. I can tell he's forcing himself not to cry.
Come to think of it, both Faris and Lukako remember their memories from before the past changed. I used to think that memories couldn't be shared between world lines. I used to think that I was the exception with reading Steiner. But maybe that's not the case. Maybe everyone has the same power, and the only difference is how strong it is. Maybe reading Steiner is nothing special after all.
That makes Mayushi even more sad. I try to say sorry, but he can't hear. And that's when I wake up. Why am I having these dreams?
I've failed so many times to save her. I've watched her die again and again. Everything I've done has been to prevent that from happening. And yet, have the memories of those deaths been tormenting her as she sleeps? I bite my lip in frustration. I still have a terrible decision to make. Do I save Mayuri, or do I save Kurisu? There's no perfect ending here. I can't save them both. It's one or the other. If I choose Kurisu, then Mayuri's dreams will become reality. I don't want Mayuri to feel any pain. Until now, I've thought only of saving her. That is my goal. But at the same time, I can't let Kurisu die. Again, my thoughts hit the same dead end. Mayuri hasn't noticed me yet. She's still staring at the sky, just as she was on the day I took her hostage. She's talking to her grandmother in heaven.
Oh, right, we have more lab imps now, you know. There's Chris-chan, Mooka-san, Luka-kun, and Fairies-chan. There's Susa-san, but she moved away. That makes 8 of us. It's really amazing.
On this world line, they all became lab mems. However, not a single one of them is sent to D-mail.
You know, it was just Ocarina and Mayushi at first. Back then, Ocarina seemed kind of bored most of the time. But now, he's having so much fun.
Is that how she sees it? Well, she's not wrong. She really does know me, doesn't she?
And that makes Mayushi happy too. It's so busy, but it's really exciting. Especially now that Chris-chan is here. She's really smart, you know. She's got a paper published in a famous magazine. Mayushi really admires her. She even made a time machine, oh, but you can't forget Ocarina and Daru-kun hope too.
Then Mayuri falls silent. Her gaze becomes distant. She stands still and looks up to the sky. What could she be thinking?
But you know, sometimes I remember, back when it was just the two of us, when Mayushi had only just become Ocarina's hostage. I'd go to the lab after school, but Ocarina wouldn't be there, so I'd tidy up the room and decorate it with cute things. Then Ocarina would finally show up a little later. Mayushi would say, "Welcome back," but instead of saying I'm back, Ocarina would say, "Good work," like a big boss or something. Every day we'd spend a few hours just hanging out, doing nothing, and then we'd go home together. We didn't talk much, but it wasn't bad. We were just there, together, you know? We'd sit next to each other on the sofa, Ocarina would work on his big plans, and Mayushi would read manga or play games. And sometimes we'd have a snack together. It was so nice and relaxing. I never wanted to leave. I'd start feeling like a real hostage, and I'd laugh to myself. Then Ocarina would turn to me and say,
I remember. It was 4 months ago, still spring. The lab wasn't as lively as it is now. It was an isolated bubble of slow-moving time. Did something good happen?
"Yep, well not really, but kinda.
Ah, it must have been an illusion. We could be under attack from Illusion Conductor, one of the organization's feared agents.
Oh, gotta be careful then, but I'm sure that Mr. Illusion Kid Hugger.
Conductor, not Kid Hugger.
I'm sure he's not a bad guy.
It was nothing, just meaningless chatter to pass the time.
I felt so happy there. So happy I could cry. I wanted to stay like that forever. But that doesn't mean I don't like how things are now, okay?
Mayuri shakes her head in denial. Finally, she stops looking up at the sky and bows her head instead.
I haven't talked to Ocarina much lately.
Hmm.
Maybe Mayoshi's getting a little lonely.
It's true, I haven't had time to talk to her lately. But that's because I've been fighting to prevent her death. To keep her dreams from coming true. Also that Mayuri will keep smiling. I never again want to see her cry like she did on that day her grandmother died.
But I don't want to be a burden on Ocarina.
That word again, burden. I've never thought of her as a burden.
Mayoshi's just one big nuisance, isn't she? Granny?
Mayuri lifts her face once more.
I can't stay like this forever, can I?
Of course you can.
Huh?
When I finally speak to Mayuri, she turns my way with a surprised expression. Her face is so soft, so innocent. Slowly, her lips curve into a smile.
It's Ocarina!
Wow.
Wow, how'd you know I was there?
I always know where my hostage is.
Hostage.
You cannot escape my grasp. Not ever.
Oh. But don't wear yourself out, okay? Maybe she's a little worried.
Oyama is not so weak as to require your concern. When the time comes, I'll tell you everything.
Huh?
So stay with me until then, like you always have.
Okay.
Mayuri stands up and turns to the grave once more. As an offering, she leaves a brand new white lily, as well as some dango dumplings.
Let's head back, Ocarina.
Shouldn't we get some dango for ourselves first? Back when we used to visit the cemetery together, it was part of our daily routine to eat dango after the way back. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, whatever.
Of course. Of course.
Akiba is empty again today. The Otaka have all made the exodus to Kamima for the second day of battle. But come nightfall, they will return to Akiba like a victorious army laden with spoils, and the streets will be chaos. I know Daro has gone to Kamima. The question is, has Mayuri? I hope she has. I want things to be normal again. I remember what I heard yesterday, the feelings Mayuri expressed at her grandmother's grave. The events of the last few weeks have affected her as well. After I escorted Mayuri's home from the cemetery, I spent the whole night racking my brain for a third option, a way out of this mess. My thoughts were a jumble, ideas coming and going too fast to judge which were right and which were wrong. But of course, there isn't a right choice here. For in the end, it always comes back to the same question: who do I let die? And no matter how I try to dance around it, the answer is always the same. I can't choose. Is there no one else who can make this decision? No, even if there were, I know I'd never accept this choice, whichever it happened to be. Once again, I'm heading for the roof of the Radicon. I had to get out of the lab. Mayuri Kurusu might return at any moment, and I can't face him now. I look up at the sky. The clouds are dark and heavy. It could start raining any minute now. Huh! I thought that I was alone, but someone was here before me. Kurusu was lying in the middle of the roof, arms and legs spread as if making a snow angel. The image of Kurusu in a pool of blood flashes through my mind. Is she alright? I run towards her, but before I make it halfway, she suddenly sits up and turns to face me. Okabe, you're alive. What a dumb thing to say. Fortunately, it looks like Kurusu didn't hear me. She's busy combing her disheveled hair with her fingers. I breathe a silent sigh of relief. Right, I forgot I might run into you here. What were you doing? Thinking. Oh. Was she thinking about her death? I don't know what to say, so I keep my mouth shut. Kurusu appears to be in the same boat. She's staring at the capsule toy dispenser in the corner, her face wearing the usual frown. The awkward silence drags on. When you think about it, Kurusu's fate rests in my hands. My decision will determine whether she lives or dies. Her fantastic hypothesis yesterday was a desperate attempt to construct a scenario where she doesn't die. Even if she believes that her theory is correct, it must be difficult for her to avoid imagining her own death. I force a smile. I'm getting really uncomfortable here. Looks like I'm in your way, so I'll just go.
Oh, okay.
Damn, I was expecting a sarcastic remark like, since when do mad scientists have manners or something? Just then, something cold lands on the tip of my nose. When I look up, the raindrops start landing on my forehead. An evening shower. It's only going to get more intense and quickly. Kurusu hasn't moved a muscle. She's just standing there, with her arms folded, staring at the ground as if she doesn't notice the rain at all. Hey, it's raining.
Huh?
Oh, yeah. She's acting strange, like her mind is elsewhere. I knew it, she's been thinking about... Whoa! In less than a minute, the rain turns into a full downpour. We had no time to seek shelter.
What the hell?
Kurusu's scream is drowned out by the roar of the rain.
Ooh, what a surprise.
That's what you get for tempting the sky gods. Now safely inside the building, we take a moment to catch our breath. It's been a week since Suzuha's time machine disappeared, but Radicon is still closed. The lights are off, and it's pretty dark inside.
You should have warned me sooner, even my underwear is soaked.
Same here, I bet you're glad it's dark, huh?
What do you mean?
If the lights were on, I'd be able to see everything.
Ah!
Even in the dim light, I can tell that Kurusu is scrambling to cover her chest.
I forgot that you're a perv too.
You're the one who announced that your underwear was wet.
Just drop it. If you're imagining what color my underwear is, I'll kill you.
I'm not imagining anything. She's too self-conscious. But the color of her underwear, huh? Gotta be white.
Achoo!
Cold?
I'm not stripping naked if that's what you're suggesting. Your pervy tricks won't work on me.
Who said strip? Calm down, will you? But if you want to strip, go right ahead. I can't make out your scrawny figure in the light anyway.
Another word and I'll make you eat your cerebral neocortex with ponzu sauce.
Sorry. Please spare me that horror. Still, these wisecracks are a welcome distraction.
A strip like that shouldn't have lasted long. Guess we'll just wait it out.
I see Kurusu's shadowy form move to sit on the staircase. I sit next to her.
Hey, get your own stair! What?
You're the one who's sitting to speak.
Hey, you're too close. Don't come any closer, okay? You can stay where you are, but come any closer and I'll push you away, okay?
Our bodies gradually grow cold. We start shivering. Maybe I should take off my wet clothes. But if I do that, Kurusu will just call me a perv again. Better not. My eyes gradually adjust to the darkness. Awesome. I can see Kurusu more clearly now. She's huddled up against the wall.
Don't look at me.
Impossible. How could you see where I'm looking? Does she have infravision?
So you were looking.
Damn, she used leading question on me. That's such a high-level technique. I avert my eyes from Kurusu and take off my lab coat. That's when I notice my coat is torn at the shoulder. Damn, must have caught on something when we ran inside.
What are you talking about?
Just a little tear in my coat.
Is clumsiness one of your character traits?
Don't be ridiculous. I'm a mad scientist. I bear the curse of insanity, not clumsiness. It seems like forever since I talked to Kurusu as Hoyo and Koyoma.
Yeah.
Kurusu suddenly holds out her hand.
Give it here.
What?
I happen to have a sewing kit with me. I'll stitch it up for you.
A sewing kit? You?
Something wrong with that?
I hand over my coat as asked.
You're an experiment-loving girl. You're not supposed to be
domestic.
Can't I be a domestic experiment-loving girl?
You? Domestic?
Relatively, maybe. Well, actually, I don't know the domesticity index for Japanese high school girls these days.
There's an index for that? First I've heard of it. Kurusu skillfully threads the needle despite the darkness.
It's wet, so it's kind of hard to thread.
Did you really just happen to have that on you?
Get over it already. Is it really so wrong for me to have a sewing kit?
It's not wrong, it just seems like you planned for this.
So you're saying I brought it with me because I somehow knew the coat was gonna get ripped? Uh-huh. Ridiculous. And before you get the wrong idea, I'm not fixing your coat because I want to or anything, okay?
Nice tsundere line.
Don't mock me, you just happened to tear your clothes, and I just happened to have a sewing kit handy when you did. It's coincidence, that's all.
Coincidence. Hey, you didn't time leap, did you?
So now you're saying that I went back in time just for the sole purpose of repairing your stupid lab coat? Uh-huh. Ridiculous, there. It's just so important I said it twice, comprendes?
You're right, if you had time leap, you would have bought a towel, not a sewing kit.
What's that, sarcasm? All you do is complain.
After working for a while, Kurusu cuts the string with her teeth and hands me back my coat.
Here.
Thanks.
By the way, it was dark so I couldn't really see. If it turns out bad, it's not my fault. It was dark, that's all. Oh, and I hope you like the color because I have no idea what thread I used.
It's random?
Black, red, or pink. Those are the three possibilities.
Let's just hope it's not pink.
Achoo!
Gold?
I guess.
Take my coat. But it's wet. Well, yeah, but... Hmm. Hmm. Silence again. The words flow so naturally when it's just harmless banter, but 1 second of silence and suddenly we have nothing to say. It must be because of what happened yesterday. I'm so desperate to avoid the topic that nothing seems safe. I know I need to say something, but what? Have you made your decision yet? Her voice is barely a whisper, but I can hear her clearly in the sounds of the empty stairwell. I look at Kurisu. She's hugging her knees to her chest, presumably against the cold. My decision. I know what she means. That's why I can't answer.
You still haven't made up your mind. You like Mayuri, don't you?
What? Where did that come from? Kurisu keeps staring into the darkness.
It's probably just my imagination, but lately I've been seeing things like a strange sort of deja vu. In these visions, you're fighting to save Mayuri all by yourself. You never go up, no matter how much it hurts.
Kurisu too?
Then you come to me for help. You're so desperate, so earnest, that I just have to do what I can. Not that I'm doing it for you, okay? I just want to save Mayuri, that's all. Anyway, these images are stuck in my head, like memories.
Though Kurisu's the same, she still has faint memories from previous world lines.
I tried self-analysis. Maybe I'm mistaking dreams for reality, projecting my hopes and fantasies. I don't know. But there's one thing I do know. You have to save Mayuri.
Aren't you afraid? To save Mayuri, I must undo the current world line. If I do that, Kurisu will die.
You know, it kind of feels like we're trapped in an ancient ruin.
Kurisu suddenly changes the subject. He looks around the dark, empty stairwell.
Like the world ended. And we're the only two people left. I've been thinking. Say you go into the beta world line and everyone else goes with you. What if I can't go with you? What if I'm the only one who left behind? Would the entire world become like this place? It's just like a theory, but I can't help but wonder.
I need to say it. I'll save you. Not just Mayuri, but...
Don't make promises you can't keep.
Kurisu cuts me off sharply, then buries her face in her knees.
You asked me if I wasn't afraid. Of course I'm afraid. Maybe I'll disappear, maybe I'll be left behind all alone. Or maybe only you will disappear and everything else will stay the same. The world will continue and nobody will even know that you existed. We'll go back to America as if nothing ever happened. Maybe. I feel hopeless just thinking about all the possibilities. But even so...
Kurisu raises her head and spears me with her glare.
Do you think I would tell you to let Mayuri die?
Kurisu.
Jesus, it's cold.
Kurisu grabs her own arms. It's in the darkness, I see her shoulders shaking.
It's because of these wet clothes. This sucks. Anyway, enough of this nonsense. It's nothing but conjecture, baseless, worthless. I want to cut open my skull and exercise the part of my brain that comes with these illusions.
Now she's talking to herself in an angry tone. Kurisu has always been calm when faced with the unknown. I admired her for that. I thought that she was facing this calmly too. But I was wrong. Behind her cool facade, she was struggling to cope with the knowledge of her very existence was in jeopardy. She was fighting the fear all alone, and now it's finally come to the surface. Of course she's afraid. However brilliant she may be, she's still an 18-year-old girl. Kurisu abruptly stands up. I realize that I no longer hear the sound of rain pouring on the roof. Whoa, wait a second. Alright, sorry. I had to go for a second. I heard a loud noise and I had to figure out what it was. Something broke. Well, something didn't broke. Something fell in my room. Well, who cares? I realized that I no longer hear the sound of rain pounding on the roof.
Listen, Okabe. You can't save both of us, correct? No matter how you struggle, it's one or the other. But... No buts, my answer won't change. Save Mayuri.
I hear the pain in her voice, but also the resolve. Kurisu's made up her mind. I look away and clench my fists, my nails dig into the palms of my hands. Are you telling me to give up, to abandon you? I could never do that.
You can, you must, there's no other way.
No, you're our friend. I won't abandon you.
Okabe!
Kurisu drops to her knees and grabs me by the collar. I gasp for breath as she stares into my eyes. Her eyes are hard and stern. It's always like this when she scolds me. Always the same glare.
Is there another solution? There isn't, is there? I don't want to live if it means sacrificing Mayuri. If you don't save her, I'll never forgive you.
This can't be happening. I hate this choice with no right answer. I hate the universe for being so cruel. And most of all, I hate myself for forcing Kurisu to speak these words when she is the one with the most to lose. Tears well up in my eyes, but I bite my lip and hold them back. Is there really no other way? I can't bear it. I look straight back at Kurusu as she holds me by the collar.
Huh?
And tightly embrace her slender body. Her clothes are still wet from the rain, but all I feel is warmth radiating from the core of her being. But you're right here! Why does it have to be this way?
Okabe.
Tension drains from her back and her hands. She gives her whole body to my embrace.
Thank you. I know you're hurting for me. But you've done enough. I'm fine, so just think about Mayuri, okay?
Despite her fear, Kurusu has made her choice. It's time for me to do the same. I need to decide here and now. The future of the world. Which friend to let die. Holding Kurusu tightly, I whisper into her ear. I'm sorry. A meaningless apology. I want to save Mayuri more than anything. Those words are a death sentence, but I force myself to speak them. It takes every ounce of willpower I possess. This sounds concerningly like I've chose a weird option route. Do I have to play this whole fucking game again and choose the options that make Kurusu? Oh no, that sounds like that thing where everything cut out for a second. That sounds exactly like this. Feels like I've made a choice here. It takes every ounce of willpower I possess. I can't save you.
I know.
When I finish, I feel as if a great weight is left my shoulders, and then at the same time, as if 1,000 needles are stabbing into my heart. Kurusu weakly returns my embrace. Then she lets go and stands up.
Well then.
There's already a look of relief on her face.
I'm heading back.
Back? Where? To America?
The lab, of course. I need to dry my clothes. I want to take a shower, too.
In that case, we should go back together. But before I can suggest it, Kurusu beats me to the punch as if she read my mind.
You stay here and soak for a while. Understand?
We can't go back together. That's her verdict. Understand. I hang my head and shut my eyes. Kurusu's footsteps fade into the distance. I wrap my arms around my body. Even though it's summer and swelteringly hot, I can't stop my body from shaking. I realize that part of me is relieved that Kurusu left alone. At least I won't have to face her again. I look to the face of the girl I chose to die. I'm a coward. My self-loathing echoes in the darkness.
See you. Cease to inquire what the future has in store, and take as a gift whatever the day brings forth. Horace, the time philosopher. I'm going back to my hotel. Do what needs to be done. Good night.
This is sad. I don't like this. I don't like this. I wait about 2 hours before returning to the lab. Kurusu is already gone when I get there. All she left is a single email. I sit down on the sofa. While drying my hair with a towel, I look towards the PC in the corner of the room. It's already connected to the IBM 5100, ready for Dara to start hacking. I already got in touch with him. The hack-in starts tomorrow at noon. I drove myself even further into a corner by telling that to Dara. Now I can't even turn back, no matter how much I want to. I chose Mayuri. I will let Kurusu die. Showering didn't soften the wrenching pain in my heart. In truth, I'm just riding on Kurusu's resolve. Mine is still a flimsy thing. I can't help but wonder if this is really okay. Really?
Anyone there? Anyone here?
Mayuri opens the door and enters. For a moment after she catches sight of me, she looks ready to burst into tears, but that quickly gives way to a smile.
It's Ocarine!
What's up?
Oh, nothing. I just had to decide to stop by.
I swallow hard. Maybe I should explain the situation to Mayuri, but I know she'll feel guilty if I tell her. Mayuri doesn't need to know. Everything will be okay as long as we crack CERN's database and reach the beta world line.
You know, I haven't talked much with Ocarine lately. But you know, I don't want to be burdened on Ocarine.
Can I really let it end like this? Shouldn't I tell her what Kurusu is sacrificing for her sake?
Did you take a shower?
Mayuri moves behind the sofa, grabs a bath towel on my head, and starts rubbing my hair dry.
You smell good, like shampoo.
I didn't mind the towel so much, but then she buries her nose in my hair and starts sniffing. Stop that! I jerk my head away. Mayuri goes back to drying my hair.
You know, I didn't go to Kamima today.
Why?
I was thinking about Ocarine. When I got to Ariake, I remembered how sad he looked, and then I thought, I shouldn't be having fun at Kamima. So I turned around and came all the way back.
Oh, sorry for making you worry. Should I tell her? Or should I keep her in the dark?
You know, I haven't talked much with Ocarine lately. Maybe Mayoshi's getting a little lonely.
Mayuri, how would you feel if I said I was keeping a secret from you?
You mean like Ocarina and Christian are actually dating?
Where did that come from?
Ocarina and Christian get along really well, right? I think you two are meant for each other.
No, it's nothing like that.
Oh, okay. You don't have to tell me everything if you don't want to. Besides, it's normal to keep secrets from your hostage.
This isn't the time for that.
Huh.
Mayuri's hand leaves my hand. I look over my shoulder in a panic, thinking she wandered off again. She's there. I grab her hand, perhaps more forcefully than I meant to.
Mayushi doesn't want to be a burden.
Again.
So I'll wait until Ocarina's ready to tell me. Just like I said yesterday, remember?
And if I decide to never tell you?
Well, I'd be curious, really curious, but if that's what you want...
Even if my secret involves you?
Mayushi?
I haven't told you because I don't want to hurt you.
Is that why Ocarina looks so sad all the time?
Hmm.
Then I do want to know. I don't like it when Ocarina's sad.
Even if it means you might get hurt? Mayuri replies with a gentle smile.
Yeah.
She nods without any hesitation. Her smile is so sincere, it strikes me speechless.
Mayushi doesn't want to be a burden. When Mayushi was sad because of what happened to Granny, Ocarina took Mayushi hostage, remember? That's why Mayushi always thought that whenever Ocarina's sad, she could lend her strength to him, you know? Mayushi may not be useful, though.
Useful? Suddenly I remember. Mayuri is going to die tomorrow. I've been through it once before. She died protecting me, and her last words were,
Finally, Mayushi was useful to Ocarina.
so this is what she meant.
I don't want to see you hurting.
Very well. If that's how she feels, I'll tell her everything. I let go of Mayuri's hand and pat the sofa beside me. Take a seat. Mayuri does as she's told.
Can I get some snacks?
This is serious, remember?
Oh, right.
Mayuri sits up straight with her hands folded in her lap.
Okay, ready.
Everything I'm about to tell you is true. It's related to those dreams you had. I plan to sacrifice one of our friends for your sake.
Eh? Ocarina?
Anxiety clouds Mayuri's face, but I ignore it and take her chin in my fingers. A switch has already flipped inside of me. You will soon regret your curiosity, my dear, for the deeds of the great Hoyon Koyoma are many and terrible. Wahahaha! And so I begin, speaking as the mad scientist whose foolish experiments brought everything to ruin. I start with the first raid on the lab. I tell Mayuri how Moeka killed her. Next I tell her about Suzuha and Feiris, about Lukiko, Moeka, FB, and Nae. I describe their fates in every detail. And finally I tell her about Kurisu. By sacrificing Makase Kurisu, I will embark on a journey in a glorious new world. There was a lot to explain, and Mayuri kept asking questions, just desperate to understand the strange concepts I was throwing at her. Thanks to that, the conversation went longer than expected. It's already getting late. And that is the plan most grand and devious. The insane man scientist Koyon Koyoma. I call it Made in Heaven. Wahaha. Dude, crucified! Finally, it's over. Oh shit. No, wait. I didn't mean to press auto. Ah, there we go. Mayuri says nothing. Mayuri says nothing. She's staring at her hands, which are clenched into tiny trembling fists. She looks ready to cry any second. What's the matter? Mayuri shakes her head and bites her lip.
The whole time you and Christian were hurting, Mayushi was making costumes like nothing was wrong. I feel so stupid. I didn't know anything.
Of course you didn't. That's how I planned it. Are you disappointed in me, Mayuri? Sorry, but this is who I am. I'll do anything to sacrifice anyone to accomplish my goals, whether you like it or not. You come with me to the Beta World Line. You're my hostage, and you have no say in the matter. Let chaos descend upon the world. That is the choice of Steins Gate. Mayuri ignores my performance. She gets onto her feet and lurches towards the door. I quickly grab her by the wrist. Where are you going?
I need to see Christian. Please, Ocarina, I have to talk to her.
There's no way I can refuse Mayuri's request. Alright. I contacted Kurisu. We arranged to meet on the UPX overpass at 4:30 in the morning. I was wondering why she wanted to meet so early, but I understood once I see her. She's dragging a large suitcase. Thanks for coming to see me off. She faces us with a smile. Does that suitcase mean what I think it does? Oh yeah, it does. You're going back to America. Kurisu nods. I was supposed to go back at the beginning of the month, but then I ran into a certain mad scientist and ended up staying longer than planned. There's nothing else I can help you with anyway, and I don't want to be a liability. Is she doing this for me? Or is she trying to outrun her fear? It's not my right to stop her. Even if I did, it wouldn't change anything. Today, as planned, I will crack Stern's database and move to the Beta World line. I've made my decision. Mayuri is next to me, standing still with her head hung. What's wrong, Mayuri? Are you feeling sick? I gently nudge her back. Come on, Mayuri. She takes one step, pauses for a second, then leaps onto Kurisu with a cry. Oh. This is bittersweet.
Christian!
Whoa, what's going on?
Mayuri doesn't want Christian to disappear.
Kurisu hears the desperate plea in Mayuri's voice. She gives me a look that asks, do you tell her? I silently nod.
You can't disappear, not for Mayushi, okay?
Mayuri.
Mayushi doesn't want to live if Christian has to die.
I expected Mayuri might say that. It's absolutely essential that I remain firm. I feel bad for Kurisu, but it needs to be said. This is the way it has to be. I choose you, Mayuri. You have an obligation to live. Pain stabs through my heart. These words are reprehensible. Kurisu and I made a pact. She agreed to trade her life for yours. If that sacred covenant was broken, this world is doomed. I clenched my fist tight to suppress my self-loathing. Don't put Kurisu's feelings to waste, Mayuri.
But...
Thank you, Mayuri. Kurisu wraps her arms around Mayuri's back, returning the hug. But this is my decision too. I'm okay with it, really. Okabe loves you, you know.
What?
What are you saying? It's true, isn't it? She gives me a mischievous smile. It would make him really sad if you died. You don't want him to be sad, do you?
But if Christian goes away, it'll make Mayushi sad.
Yeah, I know. It makes me sad too. But this was gonna happen eventually. I had to go back to America sooner or later. Soon if you move to another world line, just think of me as being in America. It's practically the same thing.
That's not the problem. I don't want Christian to disappear. Let's stop this, okay? Don't make Christian disappear.
Kurisu separates from Mayuri and gazes straight into her face. You have to listen to us now, Mayuri. She uses a gentle tone as if speaking to a child. Then she lightly bumps Mayuri on the head. Okabe, don't ever let go of her again. I know. Well, I'm off. Thank God I'll never have to see your silly face again. She punctuates her insult with a smile. She's so cheerful now, a far cry from the shivering girl in the dark. To see her like this breaks my heart. I'm sorry. I repeat these words in my heart again and again, begging for forgiveness. Kurisu turns to go.
Don't go, Christian, please, don't go.
Don't follow me, she shouts over her shoulder. Mayuri freezes. I don't want pity. It'll only make it worse. This is my decision. Nothing you can say will change my mind. Goodbye. Promise me, Mayuri. Promise me you'll find happiness. With that, Kurisu walks away. Early morning Akihabara. Well before sunrise, the trains are just starting to run. She disappears into the station, dragging her suitcase behind her, alone. Mayuri falls to her knees, her face streaked with tears. As I approach, I hear her voice.
I'm sorry.
You have nothing to apologize for. This is my decision and mine alone. Kurisu will disappear, for I chose not to save her. I chose to bring chaos to the world. You can't forgive me, can you, Mayuri? Then hate me. But even then, you're staying with me to the end. I have chosen. To save you, I'll let Kurisu die. So hate me, loathe me, curse my name. But I will not turn back. Nobody can stop me now. Mayuri slowly stands up. Then she buries her face into my chest, just like she did to Kurisu.
Ocarine, tell me how you really feel.
How I really feel? Mayuri looks straight up into my eyes.
I want to know what's in your heart, your honest feelings. Why she doesn't want to be a burden anymore?
You're not a burden. How could you think that? This is about me because I want to save you, because I can't bear to lose you.
Yeah, thank you, Ocarine. Thank you.
Mayuri tries her hardest to smile through her tears. And then, once again, she buries her face into my chest.
I've been having scary dreams lately. In those dreams, you always try to save me. They weren't dreams, were they? You were fighting to save Mayushi, weren't you? Ocarine, you know, Mayushi loves you. Mayushi can smile every day because you're there for me. Can we be together from now on, too?
Of course. I answer Mayuri with my embrace. How can you ask that? I don't want to be apart from you either.
Yeah, Marge will find happiness. Just like I promised Christian.
Yeah,
Let's be happy together.
we will.
Never let go of me.
I won't.
Let me love you forever.
Of course. Yay. The radiance of the rising sun pours out between the buildings. Daybreak. As the sky grows brighter, we remain in our embrace, as if to reassure each other that we are still here. The time has come. We will now commence the final phase of Operation Verdhandi. Mayuri and Daro turn to me and nod. Today is the last day of Kamima. Daro wanted to attend, of course, but a little begging convinced him to prioritize the operation. I take a look around the lab. These 20 days have seemed constant change. It's incredible to think that at one point this lab had a whole 8 members. And now we're back to 3. The memories we made, the experiences we shared. To save Mayuri, I will undo them all. There's sorrow in me and guilt. I engrave them deep inside my heart. I'll never forget, I mustn't forget, these long yet short summer days. But still I choose to erase our memories. I choose to return everything to normal. Suzuha's mission is irrelevant. I'm not doing this for the future. As long as Mayuri lives, nothing else matters. Daro, you may begin. You sure? Yeah. Okie dokie. Daro starts typing on the IBM 5100. It's already connected to his main computer. This will get us into a certain central data device where they keep the data they mine from with Echelon. There we will locate the first demo I sent on July 28th and erase all trace of it from existence. With this, I can reach the beta world line. At last, Mayuri will be safe. I look at Mayuri. She's on the couch, sitting straight as a ramrod with her grandmother's pocket watch pressed to her ear. She stays still with her eyes closed. Whenever Mayuri wants to calm down, she listens to the sound of that pocket watch. Ever since we parted with Kurisu, Mayuri has said nothing about my choice. I guess she's come to terms with it in her own way. The actual work I've left to Daro, no problem there. While waiting for him to finish, I walked into the development room. In the center of the room is the time leap machine. I squat down and gently brush my fingers against the microwave surface. It's cool to the touch. I've made irreplaceable friends because of this thing, and because of the thing, I've hurt them. But I don't want to blame that tool. It's because it's how you use the tool that matters. And I've got to admit, it's saved me more than once. But still, once this is over, I'll destroy the time leap machine. We must never make the same mistakes again. Oh, Karina, I found it! It's really there! The demo I sent is there? It sure is, man. Daro points to a string of characters. My name is there, followed by the message I wrote about Kurisu's death. 3 lines total, each 12 characters long. This data led CERN to our doorstep. At FB's instruction, Moeka and the Rounders attacked. If Suzuha is right, then by erasing this data, we will escape the Attractor Field Alpha, where CERN dominates the future. That will take us to Attractor Field Beta. To the Beta world line within its range of convergence. To a future without Mayuri's death. Mayuri is standing next to me, gazing intently at the monitor. She grasps my hand firmly.
Ocarine.
It's okay. She looks anxious, so I pat her head to calm her down. Everything's set. One press the enter key and that data's gone. Daro stands up and gestures to the open seat. I leave the honor to you, Ocarine. I sit down and face the keyboard. This time it ends. Kurisu's face floats through my mind. I close my eyes and take a deep breath. Goodbye, Kurisu. I slowly raise my right hand and extend my index finger. Victory is at hand! Daro twitches at my cry. With unimaginable brilliance and unwavering conviction, I have defeated our vast and powerful enemy, and now stand triumphant at the field of Ragnarok. I give thanks to the comrades whose sacrifice made this victory possible. One press of the key and Kurisu will die. I firmly grip my coat at the shoulder where it has been stitched forever, together with jagged pink thread. The coming world is this world I wished for. I wish for Mayuri to live and Kurisu to die. That is the truth, and I must never forget it. This is the choice of Steins Gate. This is the choice of Okabe Rintaro. El Sai Kongru. Let the world be reborn. I swing down my finger and strike the enter key. Yep, there we go. 1.13. 0238 or something. After a while, the spinning stops and color gradually returns to the world. Reading center activated. The world line has changed. I look around the room. Next to me is Daro. Behind me is Mayuri. I reach out to her, and she takes my hand with a smile. Everything is where it should be. It looks like nothing has changed at all. I gently touch my coat's shoulder where Kurisu fixed a torn seam. It's gone. My coat isn't torn. The stitches, and even from having been sewn in the dark, have disappeared. There's no trace of that ridiculous pink thread. I stand up and head to the development room. Underneath the table, the time leap machine. No. That's not the time leap machine. That's the phone wave named subject to change. The upgrades Kurisu made are gone. Nothing has changed, this world is exactly the same. In all respects, save one. Kurisu was never here. I thought that I was prepared for this, but now that I'm face to face with the cruel consequence of my decision, I feel powerless, defeated. I want to cry.
What's wrong, Ocarine?
Mayuri runs up and grabs my arm. Say, Mayuri.
Yeah?
Who was Lab Mem number 004 again? I need to ask, even though I know what the answer will be.
004? But Ocarine, there's only 3 lab members, remember? Ocarine, Mayushi, and Daruku.
The tears come. I crumple to my knees and cover my face with my hands. Yeah, right. Her lab doesn't have a 4th member. They never did. Her existence was rejected by the world.
Ocarine, something really sad happened, didn't it?
Mayuri rubs my back.
Mayushi is here for you, Ocarine.
I embrace Mayuri. I stifle my voice and cry.
Ocarine, don't cry.
Please don't leave me, Mayuri. Please, stay by my side forever. Mayuri tenderly strokes my head.
Mayushi will always be here with you. Always, just like this.
All trace of Kurisu's existence has vanished. This proves that I have returned to my original world line. This is the world I struggled to reach, the world Suzuha traveled through time to create, a world where the future is free. Nothing has changed, and yet, this is my utopia. I don't know how to feel about this. Yay! Oh no, I said I'd do I'd record all these episodes, but I'd do the ones before. Is this like a true end? I don't know. I don't know what to do here. This is a good game. I don't know. As I said, I'm gonna get all the endings. So I assume if I had treated, because when I replayed the game again after I got Suzuha's ending, I didn't treat Makase as well. I didn't become best friends with her or whatever, and I was much more isolated on Mayuri. So I bet that changed this. If I had been more connected to Kurisu, I would have chosen her over Mayuri, I guess. So maybe that's what I have to do. Or maybe that's not what I have to do. Maybe there just is no good ending. There's 3 endings I don't have. This will probably give me one of them. The other one's probably for Kurisu, but I think the 3rd one that I'm missing isn't actually a true ending or whatever. I think it's if I don't go back in time when I saved earlier, maybe in I know about Nai. Because there are so many other mysteries that we just don't know about. So I think definitely going back to Kurisu. I don't know, but that means I'm gonna have to play this game again. Dang it! It takes me 20 minutes to play through this game with speed up, I think, or 10 minutes. But I guess that's just what it has to be. I don't really know. I don't want to say any things about this until I know that it's over, but it's not over. The 5 Paladin games. The night of the 17th passed, the night of the 18th passed, and Mayuri still didn't die. I've kept a close watch for 3 days since then. There have been no attacks, no accidents, no signs that anything might happen. That was enough to convince me that Mayuri was safe. Together with Daru, I destroyed the phone wave in the IBM 5100. And although we have lost the ability to send emails, that is a small price to pay to stay below CERN's radar. Tenoji is downstairs in the Braun Tube workshop, watching TV on the 42-inch CRT like always. When I went to go check out Radicon, I found it open for business as usual. A search of the internet turned up no mention of a satellite crash. Instead, I found a small article in the local section of a newspaper dated July 28th. It was a report on Kurisu's murder. There was no follow-up, the culprit is still at large. According to Daro, the police questioned me several times. It was I who discovered the body after all. Of course, I don't remember any of that. At any rate, Mayuri is still alive. I've accomplished what I set out to do. It's over.
Ocarine!
Mayuri emerges from the ticket gate, waving her hand as she runs my way. She weaves through the gaps between the shoppers and maids handing out leaflets, and when she gets to me, she looks at me with puppy dog eyes. Why are you crying? Mayuri doesn't answer me. She just strokes my cheek gently, silently. She's crying, but she doesn't seem sad. Rather, she seems overcome with emotion.
Ocarine came to pick me up. You waited for Mayushi. I'm so happy.
Don't get so happy over every little thing. Mayuri wipes away her tears, making room for her shy, innocent smile.
So Mayushi's class changed from hostage to girlfriend, right?
Indeed. I have no idea how to respond to such an embarrassing question, but she's right. Mayuri and I are officially a couple. After these long, painful 20 days, I finally noticed how important Mayuri is to me. Plus, she told me that she loved me.
Thank goodness, it was just a dream.
Let's get going already. I'm gonna die standing in this damn heat. I start walking without waiting for Mayuri's response.
But the lab's hot too, isn't it?
At least we've got a fan, and besides, I'm thirsty. Gotta get my daily dose of Dr. P. It's Sunday. Despite the heat, I see plenty of shoppers laden with bags enjoying themselves on the street of Akiba. I suddenly feel a void in my heart. Nothing about this town has changed, yet it feels like something is missing from my life. No doubt it's the gap that was left by Kurisu. There's no such thing as a perfect future. That is a fantasy that nobody can realize. I mustn't forget. This is the future I wished for, fought for, and won. I have what is most important to me, Mayuri. I should be thankful for that. I'm blessed far beyond the common man. I look beside me and realize that Mayuri's not there. I turn around and she's not there either. Mayuri? She's gone. She's always like this. Sometimes she just wanders off. Anxiety seizes my heart. Mayuri promised she would never leave me. This world line is worthless without her. Mayuri! I shouted her name at the top of my lungs. I search for her in the crowd, but it's too thick to see. Mayuri!
Over here!
I turn around to see Mayuri running towards me. In her hands is shaved ice.
You said it was hot, remember? I thought it'd be nice to eat something cold.
Don't scare me like that. I feel so relieved. I want to embrace that small body of hers, but we're in public, so I stop myself. I take the shave ice and hold my empty hand out to Mayuri. Hold my hand.
Okay.
Yay! Mayuri takes my hand. Her slender fingers intertwine with mine. Let's save the shaved ice when we get to the lab. It's too hard to eat while walking.
But won't it melt?
If it melts, it melts.
Oh, well, I guess you're right. We can't eat it if we're holding hands anyway.
I won't let go. I won't ever let you go.
I just won't let you go either.
Mayuri puts just a little more strength into her grip. Love for her fills my heart. Suddenly, Mayuri looks up at Radikan.
Ocarine? Is it possible to dream when you're awake?
When you're awake? You mean a daydream?
Is that what it's called? You're so smart. I don't know who it was, but Mayushi feels like she had a very important friend.
What?
And whenever I think about that important friend, my head hurts like, you know? And sometimes I hear a voice.
A voice?
The voice tells me to find happiness.
Ah. All of that was undone. I erased those memories, sacrificed them.
I wonder if that voice is the reason Mayushi's with Ocarine now.
Perhaps everybody remembers their experiences from other world lines. Those memories may be vague and tenuous, but they're there. They speak to us in the form of dreams, visions, and deja vu.
If I ever meet that person, I want to tell them thanks.
I'm not the only one who remembers.
I wonder who it was.
It must have been God.
Oh, well thanks God. Mayushi's really happy.
Mayuri looks up. She reaches out to the sky like always. She shakes hands with the stardust, twinkling beyond the coat of blue. I look up too, to hold back the tears. And on we walk, hand in hand. Stardust Sky completed. Alright, so... what do we do here? See, we're 30 minutes in here, we got 2 more endings left. One of them's probably saving Kurisu instead of Mayuri. I don't know how to get that one. And I don't know what the other ending is besides that. I really want to investigate this next thing, but I do want to stop this episode here because it's 2 hours long. This isn't the end. I guess the end will be when I save Kurisu instead of Mayuri, and then maybe we'll have like a long talk about it after that. But I do want to know what that other ending is, but also I'm pretty sure I have to make sure I'm... Because, okay, I get like a... I don't know, like, I don't have my achievements, I guess. But, in my achievements, I wonder if it picks up Steam on here. It does. If we go to my achievements... over here. Not that. This one right here. This one right here is make friends with Kurisu via email. Maybe I do that? I can become friends with Kurisu as of chapter 3. I guess? I don't really know. So that's what I think our next plan is, to go and try to make friends with Kurisu again in chapter 3. Oh no, I've changed my window. It's now in a weird place. Sorry. Okay. So I think that's more our plan. Is I'm gonna try to make friends with Kurisu next time, or maybe, I don't know, because there was that time there before I went to go back to go check out Nae. Right here, maybe? Right here, I guess? When I was offered the chance to go back in time and I didn't check out if Nae was okay. So maybe that's what we'll do first tomorrow. And then I'll pause the game, and if that doesn't lead anywhere, like a new ending or something, if I pause the game, then I'll pause the game and I'll try to play through and become friends with Makase, and that should give me the final ending, if I get one ending from that. Because we got 2 endings left. One from Makase, of course, but I don't know what that top left one is. Maybe that's like the best ending? Maybe there's like a 3rd ending. Maybe I can choose both of them, but I have to do specific things at specific times or something. I don't know. I wonder, what if I quick load? Ah. What are all these? Oh, was it actually quick loading all these? I didn't know they had this. Wow, man, someone should have told me. Dang it. These are all my loads. These are all my saves. Dang it. This would have been so much easier if this had happened. This would have been way easier. Or maybe it doesn't do that though. Maybe it... Does it keep all my things if I clear one of these? Okay. What does data lock mean? And all these new things. I obviously don't want to, like, I have all this, I have like, what, 30 hours of playtime? 6 hours of playtime, actually. Man, I played this for 6 hours? Weird. These saves are really weird. Why are they placed like this? I've been completely, like, distracted from what we were talking about before. Yeah, so 6 hours, but I don't know what data lock means. Whatever, we'll figure that out later. I'm so sorry to keep you all for this long. Next time, I guess I'll try to make friends with Kurisu and see if we can get her ending, and maybe hope and pray to any god that exists out there that there's a 3rd ending where they both survive and everyone's happy. But I don't know. Feels like... Well, there are just so many questions we don't know that I guess we'll just have to figure out if we go to Makase's ending. So, thank you everyone for joining me, and remember to thank God, I guess. Goodbye, everyone.